No, we don't have to. We don't have to sacrifice anything. We just start talking. We just start talking.
Sweet.
About everything. Who are you? Who are you?
I don't know.
Who are you, dude?
I'm just a wanderer, man.
You are though.
Just a traveler to the universe.
Yeah, a creative wanderer in the cartoon space.
Yeah.
And music. You've done music too.
I've done some music, yes. So
where did you start? Where did your world start? Where are you from?
I guess it would be I mean, it's a podcast. We can go deep.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna. Yeah. If we don't cry, we failed.
Just a child of the galaxy, man.
We're all star stuff.
Yeah. It started, I guess, or the first time I noticed it was when I was a kid and I sucked at everything.
Where were you a kid? Like when I say where
San
were you
Diego.
from? Okay, so you're born and raised right here in San Diego.
Born and raised.
Okay.
Surfing, boogie boarding, bodyboarding, all that stuff.
But you were bad at all of it.
Everything. Skating. I wanted to be a skateboarder.
So bad.
Tony Hawk. I read Tony Hawk's book. I think that was the first novel I ever read, Tony Hawk's book. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be a skateboarder. And I sucked at skateboarding. And I started entertaining people with stories. I started telling stories. I lied a lot as a kid. You know, I would
like for fun or like to get out of trouble.
Fun
like you would just
me.
lie for the sake of like, nah, there's a better version of this that I can make up than the truth.
Exactly, yeah.
But not like, did you break the lamp? And you're like, no, I didn't break. Like, were you
I did
lying
that as well?
Oh, okay. So you were a liar.
I was a liar. Yeah.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah. No, I always felt guilty about it. Like growing up, I always felt guilty about it.
As you should, you fucking liar.
Yeah. And I was like, why am I doing this? And as a kid, you have all these ideas, and I realized it was because, I'm bad at everything, and it's an insecurity. So I'm lying about this stuff because I don't feel like I'm good at anything. And then I was like, but people are buying my lies. I guess I'm good at lying.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
which means you're a storyteller.
Makes me feel bad. Yeah. And so I'm like, wait, maybe I'm supposed to tell stories. And so it started pretty early on. I started telling stories. I would tell stories like family get-togethers, and I would write books, like little silly books about mythical creatures and stuff, and just make up stupid stuff. And so then when I discovered music, I was like, oh, I'm kind of good at music. And I can write stories with music. I think this is what I'm supposed to do. So at 12 years old, I kind of figured it out. Like, this is where I'm going to be. Mm-hmm. This is what's up.
And what kind of music? What were you listening to, and what were you making?
I was listening to Garbage, man. Garbage.
As in the band Garbage?
No. They're actually,
because I remember that. I remember. What was that? What was their hit song?
The James Bond song. It was The World Is Not Enough.
Was that?
That's their hit song in my mind. And feel free to educate me.
What year was that? I don't. Okay, it doesn't matter. We don't. This
James Bond, Pierce Brosnan era. This is late 90s, mid 90s.
Yeah. That's when I remember it. Garbage. Okay. Doesn't matter. So you're not listening to them. You're listening to horrible music.
I'm listening to. It was actually my youth pastor at the time.
Were you very Christian? Were you religious?
I wouldn't say I'm religious. My family, I wouldn't even say they're religious, but we went to church all the time. Yeah. Very spiritual. My family was very spiritual, but they were like critical thinking people. So they never really made us go to church or anything like that. But I loved going to church. And
why is that? What was it?
The community.
Yeah.
The community was really nice, and I loved the church. The church I went to, the church I grew up in was very proactive. It was really cool. It was really cool seeing that. Like, do you remember the October fires that happened?
Is this a band or the? No, that straight up sounded like we're talking about music. No. October Fires? Yeah, that sounds like a great band.
In San Diego.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah.
Like I was there Sunday morning when that fire happened, broke out, and the pastor just stopped everything, and he goes, "This is what we're gonna do." He found out how bad it was getting. Mm-hmm. He goes, "Anyone who has a truck or like a horse trailer, meet me in the foyer."
Where were you growing up? We're talking about horse
Lakeside.
trails. So okay, so you're not out by the beach. You're out in the country version, which people don't realize San Diego has. Like San Diego has literally like we got country out to the east. Yeah,
I went to the rodeo. My sister was a competitive horseback racer.
Did you ride horses?
I did ride horses. Yeah,
it's awesome. All right, so
I didn't realize I should have stuck with it because I didn't realize how many chicks like to ride horses. So when I got older, all these chicks were like, "Oh, I want to go horseback riding," and I was like, "I know how to horseback ride.
I can ride a horse."
That's a different story.
Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, I grew up in this environment where I didn't have access to a lot of things, and it was my youth pastor. He heard me listening to like Christian rock and stuff like that, and I'm like 8 or 9 at this point, And he's like, why are you listening to that? This is my youth pastor. And I'm like, oh, because it's like, this is hard rock, right?
Yeah,
I was like, no,
for the Lord.
Is trash. And he's like, and he gave me Bad Religion, and he got me into Social Distortion. And to this day, I think he's still disappointed that one of my favorite bands is Blink-182 because he hated them. He's like, that is not punk.
Because they were mainstream?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, but I started listening to these songs, and he was very theological, so we had such really cool like theological conversations about punk and like what it means, and so that was really cool because that really sparked something in me that never judge a book by its cover. At a very young age, I got that. It was like, here's this Christian guy, and like devout Christian dude, really good dude, but he actually lived the life. And it wasn't a chore for him. It wasn't a bunch of rules for him. It was a relationship with him. And it made him who he was, a better person. And he was able to absorb all these different things. Like he would drink, and it wasn't like his faith wasn't a bunch of rules. And so that really had a huge impact on me because I saw so many different variations of that. And so immediately that was fuel. Like getting into punk rock was like, oh, now I'm going to make punk rock music, and I'm going to use my storytelling abilities to make songs. But I wasn't angry. Like my parents got divorced, and I tried to write about that, but I didn't care. Sorry, mom and dad, if you ever
you didn't care that they got the divorce?
No, I didn't.
Was it ugly in the house, or no?
Yeah, it's super. Okay. Yeah, they should not have been together for sure. Like there's no doubt in my mind. They're kind of like they're very intelligent people. They're very logical, and they're more logical than they are emotional. Like they're not very emotional people. They're very like, we don't agree on this. We probably should not be together. Okay, we can.
So was it fighting and shit though?
Yeah, like arguments. Like
two logical people having it. So like civilized arguments,
went at each other.
But like screaming and yelling in the house, or no? And that's not like all the time, but like And you were how old again?
I think they divorced when I was 8 or 9.
Okay.
Yeah. So like then around 12, I'm trying to write about I love punk at this stage,
and Blink-182.
Yeah, and Blink-182.
Hey mom, you left dad.
I don't want to clean my room today.
Yeah. And that was one of the songs? That was your hit song?
No. Well, it was funny, right? So I was trying to come up with band names, and I'm like, I remember Head Cheese. Like Head Cheese was one of the band names I had. Testicle Trauma was one of the band names.
This sounds like a 12-year-old.
Yeah. And then I can't remember. Genital Downside, I think, was the one I ended up like going with. No one wanted to book us, though.
Yeah, nobody wants to book Genital Downside.
So... but I realized I was like trying to sing about the government, but I knew nothing about
you're
government. 12. Well, I knew a little bit because my parents are kind of insane, but I wasn't like mad. I was like, oh, this is how stuff works. It's like, I don't want to go to war. And I'm like, I'm 12. I don't I'm not going to go to war anytime soon. Okay, let me write about relationships. I'm like, oh,
because you're a wife, you know everything about relationships.
My wife
at 12.
Cheated on me, and I'm like, damn it, I don't know anything about relationships either. Had a couple smooches here and there, but like nothing to like write home about. So
at 12, when was your first kiss?
Kindergarten.
Yeah.
Do
those count though? Do those count?
Oh, it counted for me, man.
I don't know if those count. I was to say I was an early one too. my dad once told me he picked me up from kindergarten and he like pulled up to the playground, or his preschool, pulled up to the playground, honked the horn, and then he watched me run around the playground and kiss 4 different girls goodbye.
What? Wait, real quick. Did you call them? Did you number them like girlfriend 1, 2, 3, 4, or did you?
No, they weren't my girlfriends. They were just girls. Just girls, dude.
So I did.
That's been my world. I've always been extremely comfortable with women and very close with women and had like very close friendships with women, to the point where like I've had women, friends of mine, like in high school, I had a friend call me up. She was dating another friend of mine, and she was like, "Can you come over and teach me how to give a hand job?" And I was like, "I'll see you in 10 minutes." And then I literally gave her a hands-on lesson.
Love those phone calls.
A hands-on lesson. And like a week later, her boyfriend came up to me in the hall in high school and was like, "I guess I should thank you. Hands-on lesson."
No, I got that.
Yeah.
She had
a boyfriend who was a friend of mine. Not a close super friend, but like a friend. Like we'd hang out with similar groups of people. Well, and listen, I'm trying to help my friend and my friend. And she was like, "Come over. I need to give you a hand job. You got to teach me how to do this." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm on my way." That's like, beautiful. I'm here to help.
You're here to serve.
I'm here to serve and do the Lord's work. And like I said, he came up to me. He's like, "I don't know if I'm supposed to be mad, but also thank you."
That was dope.
Thank you. Yeah. He was like, "I'm reaping the benefits." So
real quick, I have a question. What's this podcast rated?
Whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. There's naked people on the sign. We're good.
Did she go to completion? Like,
no.
Oh,
which was my fault. That was my fault.
Stopped her.
No.
Cock block myself.
No, but it was one of those moments where she was like, "Okay, cool, I think I got it." And I'm like,
"Do you?"
And yeah, I was like, "No, yeah." And now looking back, like we're talking another minute and a half here. Like, but that was also me and my shit of like, well, okay, like I didn't realize that I could just ask for what I wanted until I was much older.
You said high school, so what age?
Yeah, this was high school. I was I could drive, so I was like 16.
16.
So I was very much like, "Oh, okay, like, yeah,
I'll be over in 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'll be there." And then literally, like, it was so funny. Like her parents were home in another room, and her uncle was like napping in the next room or something, and we're like in her room with the door closed.
Okay, in her room.
Yeah, well, single story. We're in her room with the door closed, and I'm just, no pants on. Wow. Everything's out. Teaching her the moves. And but yeah, I didn't have the.
Are you walking her through it? You're like, "All right, now grab the balls."
Everything, dude. Wow. Oh yeah. Like
that's so awesome.
You can use this as lube. You can use that as lube. Spit's the best lube. It's hot if you have your tits out. Like all the stuff.
You're like Gandhi, but for
hand jobs.
Yeah, for hand jobs. Yeah.
I'm here to help. But no, I did. And then but I didn't finish. And I regret that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I regret.
You never got a second chance.
No, she and I were always just friends. I realize now I probably could have just been like in high school, been like when we weren't with other people, because we never had a thing together, but we were very close friends from like 5th grade through high school. We had a couple of spells where we kind of like went our separate ways with different friend groups, but we were always close. And anytime we see each other, like it's really like we've just known each other. And like I was literally like, I think I've said this before, but like when she got her period, I was at her house and I was like on the outside of the bathroom door reading the instructions for tampons to her. Like we're just dope. We're just friends, dude. We're just friends. But we were friends at like in high school, she just changed in front of me and shit.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I like tits. I like boobies. Look at those boobies. Like just butt naked 17-year-old girl in front of me. And I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. I have cool friends.
Yeah, I
just wish I would have had the guts to be like, we should just fuck each other's brains out and figure this shit out. Like, let's just get after it. Because I think she probably been like, yeah, why not? But I was very much like, I never wanted to make anyone uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And me even asking that, my fear would be that they'd be like, oh my God, how could you even ask when they're naked in front of me? Like,
you didn't realize
seriously a comfort level. And they were my friends. Like, I don't know.
You didn't realize they were probably thinking the same.
She was probably like, I'm naked. Why are you not trying anything? Yeah. I think I frustrated a lot of women in high school. I think there were a number of women that I knew that now I look back and realize like, oh, yeah, when that girl like when that girl asked you, like, James, we should like hang out, just the two of us sometime. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah. I was the same way. I was the same way for years, and it took me a while to figure it out.
Yeah.
Like my mom, after my parents divorced, she would take us. I don't know. We didn't really need babysitters. This never made sense to me, but I guess she just didn't trust me to be alone at the house. So she would drop me off at a friend from church's house, and her mom would work, but there was a bunch of kids. She had like 6 kids or something like that. She was also a single mom with like 6 kids. So she would work, and we get dropped off at her house, and her daughter and me were the same age. So, like, and we never hooked up or anything, but, we had some fun, and it was like, it was the same kind of thing. Looking back, I'm like, oh,
we were right there. And if one of us would have brought it up, it probably would have been like, we're comfortable with each other. We're friends. We know each other. This is safe.
Yeah.
Why aren't we finger banging each other away? What are we doing?
I had sisters. So I was always trying to be a gentleman. I was always trying to,
and you should,
as I still am.
While also realize that asking a question, asking a respectful question of another person is not a bad thing to do, as long as you respect the answer.
Like, hey, are you feeling this? Right now? You know?
Yeah.
Speaking of Blink-182, I'm feeling this. You know that song?
I don't. I don't know a lot of Blink-182. I'm sorry. It wasn't my jam.
It's a deep cut then. It's a deep cut.
Okay, so you're 12. You listen to shit music. Your youth pastor turns you on to better music. Yeah. You're gonna make punk, but you know nothing about the world, love, sex, relationships.
I was hanging out with girls who obviously wanted to get down, but I was too stupid to figure it out.
Yeah.
And that's also, on that note, before we switch back over, that's one of my, to this day, that's one of my deepest fears, and I'm not sure. I think it comes from a healthy place, but I'm not sure where it comes from. My deepest fear is like being with the girl and having her leave or hanging out with the girl and being like, that guy was creepy.
Oh yeah!
That's like my God! Because it's never, and I think it's because it's never happened. As far as I know, I don't think it's ever happened. And like,
I'm with you.
I feel like that would, because of all the creeps in the world.
Yeah, I don't want to be one.
I would be like, whoa,
right? Dude, which also means you're probably not. You're brushing off cues.
Oh yeah,
that may be there, because in your mind you're like, nah. Of course, she didn't mean it like that. She didn't. Yeah. That eye contact wasn't. We were just looking at each other. Yeah. Like that wasn't, I'm not going to be that guy. I don't want to make her uncomfortable. That'd break my heart to think that I made my friend uncomfortable.
Yeah. She's never going to hang out with me again if I come on to her.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. It's terrifying. And I feel the same way. And even now, and it's like, I don't know. But that's a rough one, which I wish somebody would just, and like that, my brothers and I have talked about like growing up. My mom instilled this thing in my brothers and I where like we put it on the pedestal. And literally, I think my brother and I have discussed it, where there's like a quote that my mom said of like, you never, ever make a girl uncomfortable.
Yeah, same.
And I'm like, yeah, of course not. That'd be horrible. But then in your mind, you're like, well, now I can't even act. Like that, it drives it to like, well, what's on discomfort?
Yeah.
If I ask her a question she might say no to, then I shouldn't even ask that question.
Yeah.
Which means every single question. Which means now I don't know how to communicate with women or people, literally. I mean, it tracks to men too, and just people in general, because I don't want to make anybody uncomfortable. But I sure as hell, and I look back at so many of my like relationships in high school, like I had girlfriends all through like middle school and high school, but in college and stuff. But like I didn't lose my virginity until I was like 20, and it was because I never wanted to proposition that situation, because if she wasn't ready, then I would feel bad, like I made her feel pressured and uncomfortable.
100%.
Which is also why every girlfriend I had, freshman year girlfriend, sophomore, junior year girlfriend, and then one girlfriend in college, all cheated on me by fucking another dude.
Dude,
because I wasn't fucking her.
The same experience.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, same
No,
thing. You got cheated on a bunch.
Yeah, because
You're not fucking.
yeah.
And I remember other like I worked construction in high school, and there was like a family friend uncle that I was working.
I worked
with.
construction in high school.
Yeah, everyone should work. Everyone should work. We're the same person,
Dude.
but I remember him telling me, he was like, you got your dick wet. Like he was like this beautiful redneck philosopher that was like not educated, but the guy could find the simplest solution. It was amazing, and I love the man to death. He was like one of my dad's best friends, and just like this good guy with a great heart. But he was also like this rednecky dude, and be like, you. He's like, I see you with all these girls. You getting your dick wet. I'm like, no. He's like, hey, well, you got a girlfriend. I'm like, yeah. I don't know what this voice is. It's not even his. I'm just doing it. But he's like, you got a girlfriend. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, well, hey man, you ain't fucking her. Somebody is.
Yeah.
And I was like, not me. She loves me. Nope. Find out 4 months later, she just like literally went to a party and fucked some dude.
Yeah.
And now she's like with that dude, and that's how I find out.
Yeah, this is very spooky. I had a very similar experience, and this guy, his name is Jim. I worked for a company called Ground Zero Construction. Mm-hmm. My friend's dad owned the company, and then he had this guy who worked for him, and his name was Jim. And we were talking, he's like, almost the same thing. This is spooky.
Yeah,
he's
construction guys got wisdom, man.
Dude, he's like,
they've seen shit.
Yeah, he's like, man, I see you and Steve. You guys are in your band and you're playing music. And how come, you like which one of these girls is your girlfriend? And I'm like, oh no, I don't really have like a girlfriend right now. I'm just kind of hanging out. They're my friends. And he's like, those girls want to fuck. And I'm like,
nobody told me that.
No, like that's a guy thing. Only guys want to.
No,
girls don't want to fuck. Like that's not what they're into. That's gross.
Everyone's horny, dude.
And then he's like, "No, you're an idiot, man." And I'm like, I don't think so. And then he's like, "Here, do this. Touch him here. Do this. Do that. Do that." He showed me all these like points and stuff, and I was like, I'll try it. And it was like, oh, whoa, you really do want to fuck.
Dude, that was the thing. Like I had girlfriends the whole time. I was hooking up. I was getting like. Dude, I was the Malcolm from a Malcolm Gladwell standpoint, I was Bill Gates for going down on girls. I was in high school at the right place at the right time, and I just spent my entire high school career going down.
Yeah.
Like I've put in the 10,000 hours.
Yeah.
But also I just was like, oh, well, like I'll just do this because I know it makes them feel good, but I won't actually be like, do you want to have sex? Because then what if they don't? And then I made them uncomfortable, and then they don't want to be my girlfriend anymore. But if I just keep going down on them, and then they keep blowing me. So
yeah,
like I think back to like how many blowjobs I got in high school, and it's fucking insane.
Yeah, that was my same because I lost my virginity way late.
I was 20.
Yeah, I think I was 22.
22.
Yeah, I think it was 22.
Mine was watch, this will be funny because I don't know exactly how old you are. Mine was October 16th, 2001.
Wow. So
were you even born yet?
I was born yet.
Okay.
Yeah. I was I think 2010, 29,
yeah.
2010, 20.
Yeah. So you were like 22.
Yeah, I was 22. And it was
it good?
It was it was cool,
Were you guys like dating? Were you guys together?
No.
It was like just a hookup? Or
yeah, I don't really remember it.
Were you wasted?
Honest. Yeah, and it wasn't like a bad experience. I was just like, oh, did this happen last night? She's like, yeah. And I'm like,
yeah, yeah, it did. I mean, I get if that's what you want to call it.
Yeah, dang it.
Yeah.
And then I didn't. And to be honest, I don't count that time.
Yeah,
because it's like it doesn't count in my mind.
Yeah.
But then with my my longest relationship,
yeah,
we ended up like having sex, and then that was really cool. But it, I don't know, man. It was weird. It was like all of these. I was so naive. I was so naive to how the world worked and how people worked. And what I was gonna say though is when I was in high school, or towards the end of high school, my girlfriend worked at a Round Table Pizza, and we were not hooking up. And she
At all.
said at all. Oh no, sorry. Well, we were like doing all the other stuff. You know?
Okay.
We weren't having sex.
Yeah.
Like, her and I never had sex. And I remember asking her because I was getting not pressure, but my friends are like, dude, like she wants it.
My
like,
friends are the same way. They're like,
trust
how are
me.
you guys not having sex?
And I remember like, no, she's not that kind of girl. And I remember like having a conversation with her multiple times. And she's like, no, I like things the way they are. She's like, you got to trust me. You need to trust me. Like
She was saying that.
yeah, she was saying, and I'm like, okay, cool.
All right,
She's like, no, I want to wait. I want to wait till, you know, we both know that we're in
And
this.
she fucks some dude.
We broke up, and it was already happening. I just didn't know about it. We broke up, and then I ran into one of her friends who used to work there. Then she worked at a Subway, like one of her friends. I ran into one of her friends at a Subway, and she's behind the counter. I didn't know she worked there, and she saw me, and she's like, Gabe, and she runs around the thing. She gives me a big hug, and she's like, kind of like teary-eyed, and this is like a couple weeks after the breakup.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, what's going on? And she's like, I'm so sorry, and like how everything happened, that sucks. That just sucks. And she's like, I'm so mad at her. I'm so disappointed with her. I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, oh, you know, her and it was the manager of a round table.
Jesus, the
And I was
Subway
like,
manager.
No, the round table.
Oh,
manager.
round table.
And
yeah.
I'm like, oh, no way. And she's like,
Yeah.
oh, and her friend, the look of horror on her face was like, oh, you didn't know that? And I'm like, I did not know that.
Which only made her feel worse.
Oh my
She
God.
probably hugged you again.
Oh yeah. And then
Yeah.
she's like, I'm so sorry. I was like, this is crazy because, and I learned at that moment that people are liars.
No, you were.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
I did it. I like to think I did it in a harmless way, though. Like my lies were never meant to hurt anyone.
Yeah.
It was to get
Doesn't
attention.
necessarily make them okay, but I get it.
Yeah.
Little
and,
credit.
And I learned.
Yeah.
I grew out of it. It was a young age thing, but it's like that sucked. That fucking sucked because I was like,
Was that like your
not
first real
only-
heartbreak? Like, was that like, was she one of your first?
Yeah,
like,
I guess that would
loves
be
and then-
like the first real heartbreak. Yeah, that would be like the first one. Because it was like, I thought I was doing everything right. It's the shock, right? It's the
Yeah, because
it's
you
the-
did.
And
You
I'm like
did do
talking
everything
about it,
right.
Like, hey, should we be like having sex? You know, like I don't need to if you don't. Like I was very
Right,
you know,
because again, I don't want to make you uncomfortable. I don't need to. Trust, I want to. I'm not going to say that out loud.
I like things the way they are. Like, and I would never. And like, well, my friends are, and I so honest. Like, my friends are saying,
Everyone's having, yeah,
kind of thing. And they're like, no, oh my gosh, why would you think I would ever do something like that? And then it's like, you can trust me, all this stuff. And so it was. I was like, whoa, but you learn a lot in those types of situations. You learn a lot about the world, how people operate. You see signs and cues. You see little signals and things like that. And but sorry, we got way off the whole music thing.
Doesn't matter.
But yeah, so I didn't really have, even that didn't make me an angry person though. So I didn't really have anything angry to sing about. So I've always loved fantasy stories and movies like Lord of the Rings and stuff like that. And so I started writing about fantastical things like dragons and like
sci-fi,
sci-fi stuff. We had a song about like all of our songs were like I was
the punk
angry.
rock version of Puff the Magic Dragon.
Exactly, 100%. So we had songs about
That's so fun.
like I was upset because I just found out my girlfriend was a goddess and she has to go get sacrificed. You know, so we're not going to be able to go to the prom and stuff like that. And like, she liked me. You know, that was like the kind of stuff. Because I was like, even
You have not. What else do you have to pull from?
I didn't really,
you're a young guy.
You know, I'm like, I had some family members pass away. I just somehow understood the circle of life. I don't know. Maybe I watched The Lion King one too many times. I don't know what it was. Like my parents got divorced. I was like, yeah, it makes sense. They probably shouldn't be together. They definitely don't like each other. So I didn't really have anything that made me angry enough to sound like the heroes that I was listening to on the punk rock stuff. So that fantasy element and that music element basically just kept shifting, going back and forth. And then that was from band to band. Then the band broke up because they were done with touring it, and it was a lot of work. We were constantly on the road. And then that was into like the college era. And then always touring. I mean, I've played, I think last time I checked, I think I've played like over 3,000 shows.
Wow.
Yeah, my entire life. Yeah. A lot of shows. I mean, we were doing like...
And you built this up from the ground. I mean, like, it was just you and some friends, and like you just start like hitting the, like, how do you even start touring at that level? Like
how did I do it?
Yeah.
I went to music seminars, whatever I could get into, and I was usually the youngest person there. I was at like music seminars. And
What's a music seminar?
Oh man, I can't remember the name of the first one I went to. I think it was like called Mabus or something like that, and it was all about, it was for like, you would come and listen to people speak. So there would be music producers, music managers, record label A&R people, artists, musicians. It was one of the first times I heard of Lady Gaga. There was a guy who was speaking. He was like, there's this girl. Actually, she wasn't even Lady Gaga at the time. I forget her actual name, but he was talking about her, and he's like, she's super young, and she's been doing all this stuff, and she's writing for musicians. She's guest starring in reality TV shows. She's writing for reality TV shows. She's doing all these things. She's writing her own songs. She's performing. She performs every open mic she can. She plays 2 songs, like all this stuff. And and she has this song, and it was the earliest version of I can't remember. It was like Cherry Boom Boom or something like that. And he was talking about it, and it was like he was showing video clips of her, and I remember, oh, cool. And then it was Lady Gaga, like a couple of years like later. You know, I was like, oh wow, this is crazy.
So you're going to these music seminars.
Music seminars. I actually had a neighbor that sponsored me for the first one, because it was like $900 for one of these seminars, and he just gave me the $900, and he goes, dude, yeah, just go. And I'm like, wow, what a cool,
that's beautiful, man. He believed in you.
Yeah, and he was like, you're the only kid your age I know that's talking about wanting to go to music seminars. So like,
yeah, you're hustling. Yeah.
So I'm like, let's go. So I was doing that, and someone turned me on to this book called The Musician's Phone Book. And in this book, I don't even know if you can buy it anymore, but I still have my copy. It's called The Musician's Phone Book. And it was like every record label at the time. I think this was like the 2005 version is what I had. It was like 2005. It was like every record label at the time, every manager in the business, and had their email, their phone number, everything. And it cost, you could only get it if you had to be sponsored by somebody. You had to be in the business, you know. And I got one of those, and I started calling radio stations, and I said, hey, can you play our song on the radio? And they're like, no. Why would we do, like, what?
Yeah.
Are you stupid? And I'm like, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, just asking.
Just asking.
Yeah, I can ask for this. Can I ask for sex? No, but can I call a stranger at a radio station and ask for my song? Yeah,
it made sense to me.
Yeah, it does. I get it.
And so I'm doing this, and I'm like, oh, I wonder why they're saying no. And I just kept asking people. I called managers. Said, hey, would you manage my band? They're like, no. you don't even,
I love it.
You have 2 songs recorded.
Dude, yeah, man, we got 2 awesome songs,
so
dude.
Good.
Listen, my parents are divorced,
yeah,
and I love dragons, man.
It's angry music, bro.
About dragons, dude.
This is gonna connect with people, man.
Who doesn't love dragons and divorce?
D&D. And so after a while, I kind of started putting the pieces together. I was like, oh, no one told me this. It was like, you don't have a fan base. And I was like, oh, I need to build a fan base. So I was like, I need to get people.
I love how very matter of fact you are, which I'm guessing you get from your parents, the very literal side of it. They're like, you don't have a fan base. You're like, oh, I need to build a fan base. Yeah. Okay. Like that's just the thing you add to the checklist to do, which it is a thing. I'm doing it. We're both doing it in our current shit.
And I was like, how do I build a fan base? And I was like, well, a radio station would help with the fan base, but they're not going to play my stuff. So I started calling venues. Same thing, because it had a list of venues as well in the musician's phone book. So I'm calling the venues, and I'm like, hey, will you book my band? We have 2 songs. We're gonna come and play these 2 songs. And they're like, you need at least 45 minutes worth of material if you're gonna open up for anyone who's gonna bring you.
Even openers do 45 in the music world?
For the venues I was calling, because I mean, we're like in a certain kind of scene.
Okay.
So like, I think if you were playing like a high school party, maybe like I think you only needed like 4 or 5 songs. You know, if you're playing at someone's backyard or whatever. Because I've done that too.
Yeah.
But we wanted to open up for. I mean,
you're calling venues.
I'm calling venues.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they don't want to book anybody for 15 minutes. You know, 10 minutes max.
Because also, here's the deal: the headliners. Yeah, we're dealing with other teenagers, by the way, who are fucking irresponsible, and they're going to show up an hour late, so we need you to be able to do 45.
Oh, yeah.
Even if we only book you for 15.
And most of the venues, like, I think it was called Famous Sam's. Have you heard of Famous Sam's? It's like the Midwest's Applebee's. I mean, I guess Applebee's is also in the Midwest, too.
Yeah, they're everywhere. But,
but it's like just kind of like this weird, it feels kind of like a 1970s diner family restaurant kind of vibe. So this place
also
Famous.
Puts on shows.
Yeah, they no they.
Oh, okay.
Here's the thing, they don't. But I called Famous Sam's, and I called Famous Sam's because there's so many of them. I like was looking up different restaurants that had live music and stuff, and for some reason they came up and they don't have live music, and so I called all these different restaurants across the country, and I'm like, hey, can we come and like set up in a corner and play? And they're like, well, we don't have a PA system. And I'm like, well, what if we got a PA system?
Yeah, I can do that.
And then they're like, well, how long can you play for? And I'm like, well, we'll play for like 10 minutes. And like, well, that's not nuts.
Yeah.
We can't pay you for that. And I'm like, well, what would you pay us for? And they're like, let me get back to you. So this guy gets back to me. And he's like, hey, I just talked to my buddy. He owns a coffee shop, and he says he pays his musicians for 3 hours. We'll pay you $150 for 3 hours. And I'm like, $150. Holy crap.
Yeah, and you're like, we need to learn 3 hours worth of songs.
So yeah, we did. And just made up a bunch of stuff too. And we started playing Famous Sam's. And the first show I actually played with the band was at a Boomers. And I don't know, for those of you who are watching or listening who don't know what Boomers is, it's like a small theme park.
Yeah. Boomers theme park. Yeah.
And so we played at Boomers.
And this was the band Testicle Destruction? No, what was it?
This was Counter Launch at this point.
Counter Launch.
Yeah, so yeah, I also realized it's like I would get somewhere with a venue or a person,
and then they'd hear the band name and be like, "No,
sounds good." Like,
what's your band name for the flyer that we're going to put up next to Family Night on Tuesdays?
Testicle trauma.
Testicle trauma.
Head cheese.
Yeah.
Genital downside. So we actually also, real quick, Chain Sodomy was one. Like, because I was gonna make a metal band. It's called Chain Sodomy, because that's metal as fuck. You know?
Sure, man.
And then Demon Semen was another one, but we couldn't do those. So
Demon Semen.
Demon Semen, yeah.
Okay.
But obviously we went with Counter Launch. That sounds
clearly.
So,
obviously, yeah.
So we played at Boomers, and then I just kind of sold myself to Boomers because all these places were like, we don't have live music.
Right.
I said, well, I'm going to bring a PA. Now I knew the words. I knew what a PA system was.
You sounded very professional. Yeah, I will bring a PA.
PA system. I'm going to rent a stage. And then, and I lied. Here, And I go, oh, and this radio station is going to cover the concert. And they're like, wait, what? I'm like, yeah. And they're going to be talking about the concert, like 2 months leading up to it. And I'm just like, why did I say that? Why did I say that? Why did I say that? And they're like, oh, yeah, okay, how much do you want? And I was like, we normally get paid $100. I haven't played a single show yet. I'm like, we normally get paid $150 for 3 hours. And the guy's like, okay, cool, yeah, we can do that. 3 hours, $150, and you guys provide everything, and it's gonna get covered by a local radio station. I'm like, yeah, totally. And I got off the thing, and I'm like, fuck. So then, kind of freaking out. I'm like, all right.
As you should be.
Now I'm like, that was easy. So I'm going to worry about the radio station later.
Right.
I'm going to book the rest of the shows. So I'd call Boomers, and then I started reaching out to theme parks. So I was basically reaching out to places that weren't venues.
Right.
So I was like, hey, we're going to come and play for 3 hours. $150? Sweet. $150. And I was just doing this all across the country.
You didn't raise the rate, I noticed.
No, I wasn't. I wasn't
there yet.
Smart.
Got it.
Yeah. So I was figuring out all this stuff. And then I had this whole tour booked at these Boomers, these Raging Waters too, all these places like that.
Yeah.
I think we played at like the company that owns Boomers and Raging Waters is called Palace Entertainment. I don't know if they're still around, but they were called Palace Entertainment. So I just went to their down their list.
Yeah.
Their catalog.
Yeah. At that point, you call all of them and be like, oh, well, we're playing the other Boomers.
Yep.
The weekend before, we'd love to come and play yours too. And like, oh, well, if Boomers has already signed off on this.
Yeah. And
yeah, it probably only got easier and easier because once you called me, you're like, "Oh, we're doing 4 Boomers in the area. We'd love to come to you on these dates." And they're like, "Oh, yeah, I guess
totally come and do it." And then I booked this whole tour, and then I called the radio stations, and I was like, "Hey, would you come and cover this event? My band, we're playing 3 hours at this Boomers." And they're like, "Lick."
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, God, oh, fuck, how do I figure this out? So I listened to radio stations. I called in as like a fake person one time, and I was like, "Oh, hey, I was just checking in. Like, what do you guys do for like charity work? Like all that, or not, I don't think I said charity work. I said, like, how do you guys work with events? You know, I work with the company, and we're looking to hire it. I don't even.
You're doing research. Yeah.
And they're like,
again, using your lying skills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we only do this kind of stuff with charities. And I'm like, oh.
No problem.
So then
no problem.
I look in all the areas that we have the shows. And I'm like, oh, there's like a sign language charity. There's like an after school program. And so I say, hey, do you have any banners? Do you want to like sponsor our event? You don't have to give me any
testicle
money.
Destruction. Yeah.
Testicle destruction.
I keep calling it that. What was it?
Testicle trauma.
Testicle trauma. Even worse.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Like we would,
but now I think we should
for the American Sign Language Association to sponsor our show. The American Sign Language Association presents Testicled
with chain sodomy headlining.
Yeah. I just want to see the person signing that.
Oh man. And so I got all
these. Working the angles though.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got them and they said yes.
Got them, and I was like, they're like, oh, normally when we sponsor, like, what do we have? You know, do we give you anything? And I'm like, no, just do you have a banner? Because that's what I was after.
Right. I just need this to look like
visual proof.
Yeah.
Looking back, this is how like those fake companies. This is how like Fire Island and stuff like Fire.
Oh, Firefest and stuff.
Firefest.
Well,
I feel like because I didn't. I wasn't doing. Here's the thing. Keep in mind, everyone who's listening. At no part of this am I trying to rip anyone off.
That's right.
Full intention.
You're just trying to make it work.
Yeah. Of like I was gonna do what I said I was gonna do, and I did. And so I just wanted them to have the banner. I wanted everyone
because then
to
you can go to the radio station and say, "Hey, this is for this." They're presenting it,
and that's what I did. And I got.
And now, did you promise the charities that like you would donate to them or something? Or
no,
like,
I never. So again, my lying never was
not that you were going to take advantage of it, but like what were they going to get out of sponsoring your thing? Or it's like, oh, hey, we're going to do this event and the radio's going to cover it. Would you like your because I'm guessing you had to tell them that like we're going to get publicity.
Yes.
So if you have your banner, the radio station is going to talk about you and the concert.
That's what they're getting.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what they're getting out of it. And I just made sure they had that banner there so that when I showed up and we sucked, because I knew we sucked. And
but everyone's like, oh, what a good cause.
Yeah, and it's like, look at these guys, like, are they deaf? You know,
because their music sounds like they're deaf, which is so impressive that they played so well for being deaf.
Yeah, that's like very noisy, not what I thought. And so then I called the radio stations, and one by one, these local radio stations, and if I couldn't get a big radio station, I got someone in his mom's basement to cover the event. So all those dates I booked, I had coverage on every single one of them, and I showed them like the station was like, this radio station is going to be talking, and this charity is going to be sponsoring the event.
Boom! That's a tour. You built a tour from scratch.
Yeah, I've been doing that since
for 150, which means you lost money. There's no way you made money on this tour.
Oh my gosh, dude! So I lost so much money. I had no. I remember scheduling out. Like looking up a miles per gallon like map, like having a little formula, and then looking at gas prices in all the different cities,
Right.
and mapping it out and being like, oh yeah, we're gonna be all right. And then, Motel 6ing it and being like, all right, we're in this many cities. All right, a Motel 6 is only $60. Sweet, And I'm like not thinking about. For some reason, I didn't think about food. I mean, and I'm giving the story kind of out of order. Like this was, it grew and grew, and like by the end of the last tour, I mean, things were completely different. But
you learned. That's the thing. Is you failed. The first tour was an utter failure. While also a success because you learned how do the radio stations work, how do venues work, what do they like to hear, what does this guy want to hear to book us that makes it okay, that it was you paid for the education, and the failure was really just the education, so it was a success because then when you did it again, you were like, our rate's actually $3,000 or our rate's whatever $600 for 3 hours, which is still cheap for 3 hours, like. It's so funny to me in the comedy world. I get these things through. Have you ever heard of like Gig Salad? It's like a gig thing. You can sign up if you're a musician, you're a speaker, you're a motivational speaker.
Gig Town.
So it's probably the same thing. It's something. And there's like a comedian section, and people just send. I'm having a birthday party for my friend. I got one a week ago that was like, we're getting married and we want to have a comedian at our reception. And I'm like, I do 25 minutes on divorce. Like probably not the best fit for your wedding.
They wanted you to perform?
They wanted a comedian.
Or they just wanted you to be there?
No, a comedian to perform for like 30 to 45 minutes at a wedding reception. And I even said, I was like, hey, I'm definitely not the right guy, but like, and maybe it wasn't my place, but I was like, I don't know if a comedian is the right thing to have at a wedding reception.
Well, even for 45 minutes, that's
like the whole time you're eating.
Yeah, and that's like that's gonna lull the mood a little bit. Like
it's just funny, weird for a wedding. It didn't make, but they were like, oh, I forget, whatever. But like she wrote back and she was like, actually, we've had friends that have had comedians and it was really cool. And be like, I was like, hey, awesome. You know what? I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Like, but also I do know I'm not the guy because I'm gonna do 20 minutes about divorce.
Did you tell her that?
Yeah. I said just like I'm not the guy for this, but like good luck. I think it's awesome. But the amount of times you'll have some people, even like corporate events, get on there and stuff where they're like, oh, we want a comic to come to blah blah blah, and it's it's a few hours away. I've had some that were in town and some that were like, we need you to come to Denver and you have to cover your own airfare, you have to cover your own hotel, and our budget's $300. And I'm like, wow. No, like what do you then? And they're also like, oh, we're gonna have 500 people here, because I kind of look at them, I'm like,
that's great exposure.
I always look at them like, how many people? Because pretty much however many people it is times $20, $10 to $20. Because like if you're paying for entertainment, $10 a head is cheap entertainment.
Yeah.
So that's like, I kind of look at them like, but I'm just shocked because like the amount of people that book a thing and think like, oh, like $75 for you to drive across, drive 4 hours each way and we'll feed you. And also you get there and they're like, oh, we didn't get we don't have a microphone. Yeah. Or some shit. And you're just like standing in a corner, not with lighting, not with it,
Everybody.
Yeah.
Listen to me.
Oh God. Oh, I've done a handful of shows with no mic, just speaking to people in like a large room. It's just, people don't get it.
You work it though.
Yeah, of course. Hey man, you're there. You got to make that money.
You got that energy. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just funny because like, and I undervalued it for so long, which you did in the beginning too, of like, yeah, because you hear $150.
We also don't think you're. Well, I don't know about you. At the time,
I'm still horrible.
Good. You're not horrible. You know that.
I'm not horrible, but the longer I've been in this 11 years, I've been telling jokes on stage for 11 years. And what I do know for sure is that can I put on a hell of a 50-minute show? You can go longer, but I don't like to. I've done an hour and change, and the truth is, it's for the audience can't handle it. It's too long. It's too long. Like I love 45 minutes. 45 minutes is just a sweet spot. My favorite, like 20 minutes is the best. Yeah. You can murder for 20 minutes. Yeah. And everyone's having a good time. Yeah. And you can just hit them hard and it's great. 45 you're going to have at least 3 lulls. Well, but that's designed into it. They have to. You have to give them a break.
It's funny cuz in music when I was touring a lot and playing shows a lot, I remembered whenever we headlined, I actually preferred to open
Yeah.
or play second.
Oh, the feature spot's the happy spot, the second spot.
Because you leave them wanting more. And I notice when you're headlining,
They're done.
they're done.
They're done.
You get all the time. But if you do like a sweet 20-minute set,
20 in the middle.
you do like a handful of songs, and then it's just like a showcase kind of thing, like a showcase performance. It's just bam, 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 bam. And then all those people are at your merch booth being like, hey,
we love that.
Can I like get you to sign this, or where can I find your music? How can I download
While
it?
the headliners trying to
playing.
start. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was always, and the people are still there because the headliner's still there, and they have a boyfriend or girlfriend who's watching the headliner.
Right.
And so, it's you're right, and it's that whole, unless you are already legendary, I guess, and because I go see bands like Queen. I saw Queen a couple of years ago with Adam Lambert.
Yeah.
And
I bet that was incredible.
oh my God, it was like 2.5 hours.
That's
like
too long.
No,
I'm sure I know, but
here's the thing. It was 2.5 hours. And I remember being like, when they closed, I'm like, no, like they can't be done. Like we've only been here for like an hour. And I look down and I'm like, whoa.
that's amazing. And that's how I look at comedy. Cause there's a thing, and there's a club in town that, and some of them do it, but like, I 100% like believe in, and I don't know if this is why they do it, but in a like 70-minute show. Cause an hour and 10 minutes, you can hit them hard, and their butt's not asleep yet. And this is comedy, so everyone's seated, they're all facing the same way. They've had their drinks, they've had their food. If there's food, I prefer if there's no food, because people eating and thinking about and talking about food and passing shit ruin shows. But they have their drinks, they're in their seat. If you can hit them hard as can be, they haven't looked at their watch, they haven't pulled their phone out, their butt isn't tired. Yeah. And when they leave, and when the show ends at 70 minutes, they don't know whether they've been there for 20 or an hour and a half or an hour and whatever. Like in my mind, like their psychology hasn't caught up because they've been so entertained.
Yeah.
And so to pull that off for 2 hours is amazing. I'm a weirdo. I swear to God, every single concert I go to, and I don't go to a lot. I love music.
Yeah.
I don't go to a lot of concerts. I think there's a thing with me and the people, and I get overstimulated and stuff. But like, I'm literally 3 songs in, and I'm like, this was fun. I'm good. Like, this is a lot. I'm good. Like, all I want to do is go get on stage. That's what this is. Like, these are good songs. Great. I love them.
I get
awesome.
that. Yeah.
Like, let's go. I got shit to do. What I was going to say before is like that after 11 years, all I know is I have so much more to go and learn and get better at this. But like, I know I can do the job, but I still feel like I'm barely scratching the surface of my skill set.
Yeah.
Which is exciting.
Well, what's that rule about being a master? Like a master is never a master, like a master.
I mean, it's like anything I've ever gotten good at, I've realized that the better I get, the more I know I don't know. Yeah. Like I remember I started doing improv before I started really doing stand-up, and I went and did this 5-week intensive in Chicago at Improv Olympic, and it was amazing. I would recommend it to anybody, no matter what you do. But I remember as part of the thing at night, you could go watch the shows at you're at this theater that during the day you're taking these classes 10 hours a day for 5 weeks, 5 weeks straight.
What's it called?
Improv Olympic. IO Theater in Chicago. It's like it's a famous theater. Del Close was there for a long time. Every half the shows on network television now are written by or have people in it that were members of IO. So like Amy Poehler was there, and then they started UCB in Chicago. Like she spent time there. Colbert was there, and in Chicago and at Second City and stuff. Like they've all done all the theaters and all the programs and stuff. But what I learned being there was like, and I've always been theatrical. I did theater as a kid. I've always been a little funny. I've always been able to kind of like perform. And then I got there and we're in like our first week of classes and like it's going well and we're having fun and you're learning a lot and you're failing a lot, but it's what it is. But then I remember going and I watched these two guys called TJ and Dave was a show. I don't know if it still runs. If it still runs in Chicago, go. Like it is the most amazing two-person. They build a whole world in front of you on a blank stage, and they do fucking like their object work and the thing, like you believe and see it. It's amazing. They build a story out of nothing. And I remember watching that and being like, oh, okay. I thought improv, like I knew I was at the bottom, but I thought it went to like here. And then I've like taken some classes and stuff, and I'm like, oh look, I'm like, this is the top of improv, and I'm like here now, but I got to get to here, and then I got to like here, and I realized that it was the fucking moon. The moon's the top. Like it's not here, dude. This is nothing. Like I don't even know why I thought that. It's the moon, and I'm here, and that's the same thing with comedy. Like as 11 years in, I'm like, oh, I've like learned it, and like, oh, but the real, there is no end to the skill.
Yeah, a master is never a master.
Never get there. Why would you get there? Who gets there? I'm sure Chappelle writes shit down and goes, that was horrible.
I met him once.
Yeah? What was that like?
I met him at Meltdown Comics in Los Angeles. I was hosting a show with a friend of mine, and it was called The Digital Lizards of Doom Show, actually. Yeah. And we hosted this show, and he performed. They would have, our show was on a Wednesday, and then every Wednesday night at Meltdown Comics, they had comedy in the back of the comic.
Yeah, I remember. I went up there once. I got to see it. I wasn't on it.
What year?
I've been here since 2012, so somewhere between.
Do you know what year you were there?
No clue.
If it was in
it would have been it would have been like 2014 or 15, probably.
If it was in 2015, I was there.
That's funny.
Because I was there every Wednesday.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Because that was a famous show in LA. That was a famous comedy show in LA. Yeah.
I was there every single Wednesday. I was there.
Yeah. And then the whole Hardwick thing happened, and
it just kind of fell apart.
There it went.
I was on Nerdist a couple times. I did all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He was cool. I met Chris a couple times.
I've heard good things and I've heard not good things.
Yeah. And Dave was cool. He showed up. This was 2015. He showed up, and it was funny. He wasn't supposed to show. Well, that was a cool thing about that show.
Yeah,
you never
people
knew,
could pop in. Yeah,
you never knew who was going to be there. So you would meet some really cool people. Like I met Aziz Ansari, and I met. I met a bunch of people. Like
no, you can name drop. Go ahead.
No, it doesn't matter. I was just like, oh, I met this guy and this guy. But
it's funny to meet those people, though. Like, I mean, I've been in this 11 years and I've gotten to open. Yeah, that's the funny thing is there's just people. And when you really meet them, like there's a difference between like, oh my God, I saw so-and-so at this thing and da-da-da-da. And then now that I've done this long enough where like I've like opened for some people and like you're sitting in a green room for like a couple hours, but first show and then there's a second show and then there's the 45 minutes between the two shows and da-da-da-da. And you're just like, oh, this is past the like, they're that person. And now they're just a person sitting in a chair sipping on a fucking Diet Coke.
Arguing with their wife or husband.
Yeah, you've seen a few weird, yeah. But then it's just like, oh, you're just a fucking person.
And some of them are cool. And I've met some, I wouldn't say heroes, but I've met some people that were like, I was like, oh man, he'd be really funny to meet. And then, no, not at all.
On stage and off stage are two different worlds. I've never dealt with an asshole. I've never met anyone that turned out to be an asshole to me. I have met people and performed with people where they weren't rude, but they weren't gracious and kind. Like, not that I don't expect that. This is your show. I'm lucky to be here as the opener of the feature. And I go into the green room and I'm like, the couch is not mine. I do not sit on the couch. I find the chair in the corner and I put my bag next to it and I sit quietly because this is his room. Yeah. This is not my green room. This is his green room. This is his show. These people are here to pay to see him. I'm just lucky enough to get paid. I'm going to make some money, get to watch him or her for 5 shows and get that education. Maybe my whole goal anytime going into a weekend like that, if I'm like opening for somebody that I like look up to, and even if I don't, I mean, they're comics, they're successful, they're at some level, is like if I can pull off over the whole weekend 10 good minutes of interaction and maybe a couple of questions and just like some engagement of just like, whether it's business talk, comedy talk, life talk, just any wisdom I can pull, which I'm trying to pull. I want something from them. But in my mind, I'm like, if over, 3 nights, a Thursday, 1 show, 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday, whatever, those 3 times, if I can get a total of 10 good minutes, that's a success.
Yeah.
And I don't want to impose on them. But when the moment is right, there can be some back and forth and some talk. And the truth is, most of the people I've gotten to work with have been really cool and really nice. And then there's been a few where it's like, oh, I didn't get 30 seconds out of this person, which I find is just cold. Just cold. Not rude, just cold. Not a warm,
And you never know what's going on.
That's the other part. We're all people. And like you said, they could be in the middle of a whole fucking thing.
Yeah, we've both worked in film and TV and commercials and all kinds of stuff. And I remember, he was on, I don't know the dude's name, but he was on some like CW show, and he was really, really nice. Mm-hmm. And I can't remember his name. And I would see him from time to time, because I was working on a different show. Not anything popular or noteworthy, just a different show. I was in the vicinity, and he was doing his thing, and he was a part of this other studio. Oh my gosh, it doesn't matter. I can't remember his name. Anyways, I years later, or not years later, it was like a good amount of time later, a friend of mine was like, "Oh, that guy's such an asshole," and I'm like, "Oh yeah," it's like, "Oh yeah, I like met him one time at this bar," and I was like, I said, "Oh, hey, I'm a big fan," and he was just he was like, it was like it didn't even exist. He just looked right through me, and it's like, "Oh, thanks," And then I was like, "Oh, wow, okay." I'm just pouring my heart out to you, telling you how the big impact you've had.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, as someone who would run into this guy again, we weren't friends or anything,
right? But you'd run into him, and there was the nod of like, "I know you, me."
Nice.
Cool. Yeah.
And I couldn't help but think. Obviously, I have no idea. I couldn't help but think, like, dude, who's not to say, this is all theory. I have nothing to back this up.
Yeah.
But who's not to say that, like, dude, you just got a really fucked up text from somebody.
Yeah.
Or just heard some bad news, or
just got fired from that show.
The show. And it's like, fuck, what am I going to do? And someone's like, "You are the coolest thing ever. I love you.
You've inspired me."
Wow.
Yeah. And it's
like,
I just had
thanks.
Diarrhea, dude.
Yeah.
I just destroyed a bathroom, and I'm embarrassed, and I'm trying to pay my tab so I can get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Please, now I was in the bathroom last.
Yeah.
Great.
And that's, I try to always like benefit of the doubt for that, because it's like, I think it's something, I think Seinfeld and I think Louis have both made statements in the sense of like as far as Seinfeld's concerned, he's like, I don't, people feel like you owe them something because you're famous and they like what you do. Mm-hmm. He's like, no. I did the thing. I gave you what I owed you. That was the show. I made a good show. You liked it? Good. This transaction is complete. I don't owe you anything, which is like kind of a cold, and people don't like it because they think, and like I think Rogan's even made the comment where somebody was like filming he and his daughter, like he was like eating ice cream with his kid or something, and someone's filming him. He's like, "Hey man, I'm like eating," and the guy was like, "Price of fame," and he was like, "No, you're doing it. Like it's not, no, not really. Like you're just choosing to do a thing that's not cool.
Yeah,
that's not the price of And it's just weird, and it's like, you don't. They're just fucking people. They took a shit this morning. Yeah.
It's a cultural obsession too. I mean, it's like people are obsessed with celebrities these days, and
it's the new royalty.
It is it's American royalty.
It's American royalty. Because the Kardashians are our version of royalty.
It's bizarre because I would work with it pretty much ever since I started playing music and performing in venues. I've been around some very famous people, mm-hmm. a lot of them. And then I would have friends hit me up, and in my mind, I'm so busy. I'm so focused trying to get to the next thing. I'm not like
fanboying out.
I'm not fanboying
Right.
out. There's been a couple times where I'm like,
of course,
man, that's so and so. Like, that's really cool. But there've usually been people who made an impact on my life, not just simply because they're famous.
Yeah.
So, and then I'll go and I'll be hanging out with some friends or something, and they'll say, dude, how come you didn't invite me? Like, I want to meet so and so.
That's not what this is about, dude.
I'm sorry.
And also, that makes me an asshole. Like, you're asking me to do something that makes me an asshole. Because I've had people do that too. Or like, I've done shows with people. I did a show with Steve Renazzisi from The League and a bunch of other stuff. And I remember I had a friend that like loved him for whatever reason. She just loved him. And this was like early on in my stuff. And she was like, hey, we're at the show. And, you know, and
did she have a friend with her?
Yeah, of course she did. Yeah.
That's
she wasn't alone. And then she has a friend.
Yeah.
She said, hey, can we come into the green? And she kind of like, it's not my green room. I'm not bringing people into the green room. But it was like, she was kind of like hanging out after the show. And she made her way in, not through me, but by like kind of like flirting with him. But now I'm in the room, and it was a hell of an education for me, because I was uncomfortable the entire time, because she and her friend are like, can we get a picture? Can we do that? And it was like Steve and like the feature, and I was the opener, and he was nice about it.
Cool about it?
He was cool but he was also like, he had like his buddies. And these are like two beautiful women, and the buddies and everyone, they're all like, yeah, come on in. And like, they invited him into the green room, but I was used as the like, oh, I've known James since da-da-da-da. Yeah, hey, da. And they're like, well, come on in. And I was like, I felt used, and I felt like they're in here. And this is that time when I felt like my moment with him, as weird as that sounds,
It's
my
not
10 minutes,
weird, dude. That's
like,
not
no,
weird at
I
all.
did the show.
Yeah.
This is my job. You just came to my work, and you're fucking up break time.
Yeah.
And it's like, I need to talk to my boss about some shit, because this is the only time we get, because this is like, you know, it was just so weird. And I remember sitting there, and it was like, we ended up like going for drinks somewhere, and I felt it was so weird, because I was like, I was no longer a comic. I was like a friend of theirs in the dynamic, even though I just opened the show and like had a good set and like proved like, hey, I deserve to be here as a comedian. And now I'm like awkwardly standing in a loud bar alone while these girls are chatting up he and the friends and stuff. And I remember just being like, I just hated it. I hated it. It was just, and it wasn't, at that point, it wasn't because I lost a moment. It was like, I wouldn't have come here, but my friend was like, you come on, let's all go get a drink. And she was like, come on, James. And then I felt like it'd be weird to be like, I'm good. And then like ditch. As weird as it sounds, I felt like I had like some responsibility to protect him, even though now looking back, like he and his friends were like instigating the hang because there's these two attractive women.
Yeah.
But I'm still like, oh, I should be there to like I look back now, and like the dynamics that I was taking on that were not my responsibility were like fucked up. But then I just awkwardly stood there while they all chatted, and I didn't speak to anybody in a loud bar that I never would have gone to.
Yeah.
And then the funniest part of the whole thing is when we were leaving, I was like ready to go, and he apparently was ready to go too. He left his friends with my friends. But I started walking out, and I didn't realize it. But as I'm walking out, I'm putting my jacket on, and I went to put I put the first sleeve in, and when it's like a tight bar, but I'm literally like walking through the gap in the people, and I'm putting this sleeve in. And as I reach to put that sleeve in, and I do this, my hand is literally grabbing his tummy.
Oh man.
And it was the most, and then I I felt it, and then I turned and looked, and he's like,
what are you doing, bro?
and I literally was like, oh, sorry. And I just fucking walked out the door and hung a right and never looked back.
Wow.
And I was like, everything about this night was fucking dumb.
I want to add a layer to that story.
Please do.
Because not only, and this might spark a whole different conversation, but
Buddy, that's why we're here.
not only is it weird and a little presumptuous to do that to you, like for your friend to do that to you. But also, it's disrespectful in the sense of that is your job. And it's whenever that happens to me, it's a reminder, it's a unsettling reminder that the people who say they care about you, and I'm not trying to start any shit here, but they don't see it as a job.
No, music and I'm sure music's the same way. Yeah. And that's something where they're like, you're just hanging out at a bar. Like I've been at shows and had people where I was like, same thing. I'm like featuring for a bigger name. I'm at some club doing a weekend. And I've gotten a text 5 minutes before showtime. And they're like, hey, we're in the line. Can you come get us and bring us and get us in?
No, I can't.
Yeah. And that's why I was like, I didn't even respond. I was pissed off. And I'm like, and that's when I kind of realized, and just other people, and even in some relationships where they're like, you're just hanging out at bars every night. I'm like, this is not, I know that's what it looks like, because it does. But unfortunately, the only place I can do this job is at fucking bars.
Yeah.
So I know that it just looks like it's comedians hanging out, which a lot of, like, if you're not on stage, you are hanging out. But guess what? Me hanging out for 45 minutes after the show, smoking weed in the parking lot. One, I wrote 3 bits because I'm standing around with my comedian friends, the funniest people I've ever met in my life, that are now my friends, and they fucking get it. And we're standing there riffing bits in a parking lot till 2:30 in the morning, and I wrote down 4 of the bits that I fucking riffed to them, and they wrote down 3 bits, and we all just created 2 more minutes of comedy.
Yeah.
And somebody else was there that booked 2 of us on a show next week.
Yeah.
Like, and it looks like we're just hanging out, but the hang is part of the business.
Yeah.
Especially in the beginning of comedy.
Oh, yeah.
And the truth is, as you get farther down, the hang goes away, and that's one of the biggest things you miss.
Yeah.
Is because when nobody was good and you were just hanging out with the funniest people you'd ever met 7 nights a week, and all you were trying to do was be funny, and it was a safe place for you to be funny with your friends and try everything and say everything. And that was the other thing. It's like, I had to learn that when you're around, like, civilians is a weird word to use, but civilians, you are not around comedians.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you're with your group, and then like we went on this thing, a group of us put together like a fake tour. We went to Michigan. We were in this comedy festival, and then we like booked a few shows at like bars and restaurants around the town for the 4 days that we were there. And at one point we went and like hung out. One of the guys was from there, so he had a bunch of friends that were there, and we like went over to somebody's apartment that he was friends with, and their like girlfriends were there, and everyone was nice. And this is like Michigan. This is good people, and we're having fun. But like, we're being comics, and we're like riffing and just saying shit, and we're so comfortable with each other that like in comics, like to each other, say the worst shit you've ever heard people say. Fucking offensive, mean, deep cutting, like fucked up shit. Because we hear the funniest shit all day. And so with each other, we can really push. And this is across the board. You hear comics talk about it on every podcast ever since the beginning of podcasting, and comedians talking of like, comedians say crazy shit to each other because they can, and they know that person knows what's happening. It's safe here.
Yeah.
Except there was like 2 dudes and their girlfriends in the room, and their girlfriends were looking at us like they were mad. They were upset. Yikes. And we're like, what? And then the problem is we're comedians, so we double down. And then now it's a competition of who literally can say the worst thing. And meanwhile, this person's losing their mind thinking that we're all literally the biggest pieces of shit in the world.
Yeah.
Because how could we be joking about that?
Oh, yeah.
And meanwhile, we're like, because we're joking. Clearly we're joking. Like, why are you so upset? We're joking. Like, that's crazy for you to think that we're not joking. But also, why would you think like...
And these are people who know what you do.
Yeah, but there are people that know what we do, but they don't know what we do.
Yeah.
Like, they just, they're comedians. And in their mind, they're like, these are the most offensive and unfunny comedians I've ever... that's what they think at this point.
You and I have been on, I don't know, like more than a handful of sets together.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've had people literally hit me up and say, hey, can I come hang out on set?
No. Fucking no.
And it reminds me that they know what I do,
but they don't know what that is.
Know what you do,
and they don't respect it.
They don't respect it, and it's not. It's ignorance. It's not. They're not bad people.
No, they're not. They just don't know.
That's just.
But then there's a weird
hobby.
resentment when you say no, because they think that you're like, dude, what? You guys are just standing around. Let me just stand around with you. It's like, that's what you think I do for a living is stand around. And yeah, guess what? 70% of what I do is standing around and waiting.
Yeah.
But during that 70%, I'm fucking concentrating on how hard. Like people don't. I didn't even get it, but I've done enough commercials now where it's like I am fucking exhausted.
Yeah.
At the end of a day's shoot. Yeah. Because being on all day and fucking, you're running the lines, you're doing the thing. All right, camera's rolling, we're doing the thing. Especially like with some of the shoots that you've seen, like we're very physical, we're moving, we have choreography that we're getting through, and you are so fucking on.
And you might have to shoot a scene where you're like making a face or you're grabbing a log or something.
Oh my God.
And then shoot the cut would be there, and then the next scene might be at the end of the day. So you have to remember
match
what you were
the
doing,
energy and yeah.
And
it's exhausting. And comedy's the same way. Like, yeah, it's real. It's really frustrating. Well, also they don't get it. I mean, I didn't get it until I was in it. I didn't know till I was in it. But like, even like I have friends that get pissed off because like they'll be like, hey, do you guys want to like we're gonna do something on Thursday night? Can you? I was like, oh, I got a show. Why didn't you tell us you have a show? We would all go. I'm like, I don't give a shit.
It's kind of what we were talking about with undervaluing ourselves earlier.
Yeah,
because that was something that took me forever to learn. When I first started doing it, I remember talking about the boomers and setting up those tours. If someone was like, I'll pay you $3,000 to put on this event, I probably would have been...
That's way too much.
Oh, that's way too much. I would have said no. And then now, I'm like, that's not enough.
Yeah. Like, now you'd hear that and be like, all right, so you're starting at 3, which means you'll spend 5.
Yeah.
Because now you've done it.
You don't know. Like, there's no way of knowing. You can't possibly...
Well, you got to fail.
People can tell you every single thing, and you still...
Oh, man.
Know.
Yeah, exactly. So... I remember even like in relationships, it was funny that I had friends and people be like, why don't, you never invite me to shows anymore. And I'm like, when was the last time you invited me to your office?
Yeah.
Do you want me to come to your office and just like hang out in your cubicle and watch you do what you do? Yeah. Like, wouldn't that be weird? So that's why I don't invite you to shows, because I'm at work right now.
Yeah.
I'm sitting in a booth writing ideas and going through my notes and figuring out a set list that I'm going to go do, and then think of the thing. And I might walk outside and listen to the last 2 nights recordings because I had 2 tags that I can't remember, but I riffed them in the moment and I need to figure out what they were and where they went and da-da-da. And like with you there, and no matter what, because like it doesn't matter how cool your friend is either. I'm a people pleaser, and I know that like if you are there, bandwidth will be spent wondering, are they okay? Do they need anything? Where are they seated? Does somebody need to get them? Do I need to let somebody know that they're with me so they don't get like pressed to get 2 drinks and da-da-da? Like, and in my mind, I'm like, fuck that. I don't have time for that shit. I'm at work right now. Don't come. I don't want, and that's the other part. His friends like, dude, we'd love to support you. I'm like, if I can't do this without, like, I appreciate that. When I have something worth going to, I'll let you know. Yeah. And I feel like a dick and sound like a dick kind of saying this, but like, if I can't make it without my friends buying tickets, I'm fucked. And also, how come every time I need you to buy tickets, you're like, hey, can you get us, how many tickets can you get us for free?
And
I'm
my
like,
favorite is when
when
you're opening up for someone that other people want to see.
Yeah, hey, can you get us tickets?
Wanted to come to the show.
Which in the beginning you start calling, and that's something you had to learn though. In the beginning you kind of call, hey, are there any like comp tickets or any? And now anytime people ask, I'm like, no, but the website has tickets for sale.
Yeah,
I don't even ask anymore. I'm not, because no, that's not. If I need a favor from the club, it ain't so 3 of my friends can get free tickets.
I remember I went and saw you at American Comedy Club, and just let you do your thing.
Yeah,
and then I went and.
Who was that? Was that Attell?
I can't remember.
Who was the headliner?
I was there for you.
Aww.
I was there for you. I don't remember. Yeah, I
that's fine.
I don't remember. But I went, and then I was like, oh, I'm gonna go say hi to James really quick. I'll be right back. And then I went. I think you were in the back. I just, hey, how's it going, man? Good to see you. Good set. That was fucking funny. I'll see you later, man. Let's talk soon. And I leave. And then you're doing your thing. You know, you're getting some food. You're hungry. You're doing a million things.
I remember that. Yeah.
And then I go back to the table, and one of my friends is like, hey, it's okay. Like, if you want to go hang out with your friend, I'm like, no, like, they're not being an asshole.
No,
like,
exactly.
By any means, but it's just funny because they really don't understand. He's working.
Right.
I wanted to express my support.
And you did.
I wanted to show
beautiful.
face.
Yeah.
Like, what's up, dude? Good to see you.
Great set.
Crushed it.
Awesome. Yeah.
See you later. You know, you got
which is the way to do it.
And
but you only know that because you've been the performer.
Yeah. And if I hang out for an extra, 10 minutes, you might start getting stressed out because you're like, well, I don't want to
be rude.
I don't want to be rude.
But now I feel like I'm responsible for your fucking emotions right now.
I really got to go settle up, or I really want to talk to this comedian because I want to get something from them, or I really got to say hi to these people because they're in town. Like, I have no idea what's going on in your mind. But that's the thing. It's like, I'll see you when I see you. Good job. And then I was explaining to them, I was like walking out, and they're like, are you sure? Like, it's okay. We don't mind. We can hang out. I'm like,
no, we're good. Let's go.
He's working.
He's at work right now. He gets a paycheck for this.
Yeah, it's a very interesting thing, and I don't think a lot of people understand. But so many times,
which makes sense, they don't.
I want to come and hang out on the set, and I'm like, dude, no.
Yeah, I'm at work. What the fuck? Do you think what
quiet.
business?
I'll wear a mask.
What business is ever like? Hey, did you want to just have your friend? I know you're a waiter. You're a waiter? Do you want your friend to come hang out and kind of follow you around?
Yeah.
No, that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense anywhere.
He really likes Olive Garden.
Yeah, loves it. And he wants to support his friend. And his friend's a hell of a waiter. It's funny. So you book this tour. You're knee deep in music. You're figuring out how to do that. You end up growing that even bigger. You're booking larger tours and doing more.
Now we start opening up for like JJ Ramone. We opened up for... we started playing like bigger shows. Like, I remember the Delmar.
How old are you at this point?
I'm kind of doing it out of order, kind of like Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, that's fine.
But at this point, I'm about 18,
okay.
19. And
still young, still a kid.
Still haven't lost my virginity.
Yeah.
And I remember when I played the Delmar Fair.
That's a big deal.
It's a big fair in San Diego. And I thought we opened up for...
You're like, we fucking made it.
And it wasn't the Cure. It wasn't the Cure. It was the Cult. The Cult. I think it's the Cult. And I remember being like, oh, like, I've made it.
Yeah.
Like we're on the Coors Light stage.
What?
I'm like, this is crazy. And then I just kept building, and then eventually, the guys got tired of touring, and I think they might disagree with me on this, but I think they had more of a rock star fantasy than I did. It was always
you were working.
I never had the rock star fantasy. Even to this day, I still don't. I could literally books, everything I'm working on now, I could care less if people know who I am. But if the product I'm making is making money, that'd be awesome.
Right.
I could honestly care
if the
less.
art was providing for a life,
yeah.
I don't need the rest of it.
If someone came along and was like, hey, man, I'll make your art famous, but I want to take credit for writing it, but you'll get paid the same. I'd be like, fucking go.
Yeah.
Do it. I could go for it.
But that's the art stuff. But like when it came to the music, did you like the performing? Did you like being on stage and doing it? Did you like the touring?
I did for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I did for a long time, but it did become, it became monotonous, and it became like I'm not really this guy. And I grew up through that.
Yeah.
I was growing up.
I forget who said it. I think it was it one of the guys from Weezer? There's a quote, pick any band, whatever. But the quote, maybe it was a Red Hot Chili Peppers guy, I forget. But he was like, oh, yeah, I've toured the world. And from what I can tell, everywhere I've been looks like the inside of an arena.
Wow.
Because he's like, yeah, it sounds like you're going to be in Paris and then you're going to Berlin and then you're going to do Moscow and then you're going to do Tokyo and then you're doing da-da-da and then you're da-da-da. He's like, yeah. You fly in, you go do a sound check, you go to your hotel, you go back to the venue, you rock the fucking thing, you're exhausted, you go home, you literally go back to the hotel, you pass the fuck out. You wake up the next morning. You get on a flight to the next place.
Yeah.
You didn't see Berlin. You weren't in Berlin. You were in a hotel and in a bus and then in an arena.
You had Berlin McDonald's and you had Tokyo McDonald's and you had Moscow McDonald's.
Which is also something I think it's beautiful that we have so much, like as a performer, as somebody that like I can't wait to tour. I want to tour. I want to go do that. Like I love performing. My goal in life.
I'll be your tour manager. I'll book you a Boomers and
trust me.
Sam's.
Yeah, Boomers and Big. Bring it on. I'm not really a kids act, but I'm gonna rock that shit. But I love that side of it, and I like travel. Mm-hmm. I love seeing places, but I hear all that and I go, I'm gonna do it different.
Yeah,
I want to go to a city and be there for 2 days, and I know financially that doesn't pay. It doesn't pay to hang out in a city if you're not doing a show that day. It pays to book 3 cities in a weekend and go boom, boom, boom. And then go home and not spend a moment in those cities. Yeah. That's what pays.
Yeah.
But I look at it, I'm like, no, and that's like, it's something like with the kid. And like, in my mind, I'm like, I want to take my mom and my kid in an RV and I want to go hit the road for 2 months straight. And I want to spend a couple of days in the city, drive to that national park, hang out and take my kid around and grandma and show her things. And then, okay, we got a 5-hour drive in the morning. And then I got a show tomorrow night. And then the next day we wake up and we're going to hang out in that city and we're going to go see some stuff around there. And then the next day we get to drive a few hours to this national park. Like that's, and in my mind, I'm like, you can do that. It's not as lucrative, but what is the goal?
Man, those memories that you're going to build.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
It's interesting. Like I have a couple of friends that are fucking killing it in the comedy world. And I say friend, like they are friends. They're friends. We saw each other. We'd hug each other. We'd say hello. We started doing comedy around the same time here in San Diego. They're huge. They're doing theaters. They're selling out clubs, and they're amazing. And I'm so proud of them and excited for them. And neither of like there's like 2 main ones, but like neither of them would like, oh, I should call James and blah blah blah. Like we're not close, but we're friends. But I see what they're doing, and I'm crazy excited for them. But they're also single with no kids.
Yeah.
And they're also younger than me. I'm 40. They're in their late 20s, early 30s. And I just look at it different. I'm like, I am so excited that they're doing what they're doing. But I look at their schedule and I'm like, that sounds like the loneliest nightmare.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I wouldn't do it. Like when I was talking with that management company, we were discussing like, what do you want your life to look like? And especially now, like building the brand, building the following and stuff like that. It's like, I have every other weekend off because my kid is it's a 50-50, right? So my kid's with her mom. And I look at that and go, from Wednesday to Sunday, I'll go hard as fuck. You want to go do 4 cities? I will go do 4 cities because I know that builds the life I want. It's not a long-term thing. But for, I got 26 weekends a year that I don't have my kid. The only responsibility I have is comedy. Let's go. And I will kill myself for a while to build it to the point where then I can go on the road 20 weekends a year and do two cities a weekend.
Yeah.
Not 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And so I know that's
money.
there. Maybe. Yeah. And even, I like, that's the thing is like, I need enough money to make sure my kid is fine. To make sure my mom, as she gets older, has what she needs. That's the amount of money I need. I don't know exactly how much it is. Will I, sure, I'd love to sell out arenas and make $1 million a night or something. That sounds amazing. But that's also on a whole nother level where the finances of that are, we got to hit this city. We got to get on the bus. We got to go to this city. We got to hit on the bus. You're going to be on the road for 3 months straight. And you're going to get to fly home twice for 3 days. And then, I can't do that.
I remember talking to a manager he was he's a manager of a very popular rock band. Was the manager of a very popular rock band called Blink-182, actually. And I remember talking to him. He doesn't manage them anymore. I remember talking to him, and he was interested in signing Digital Lizards of Doom.
Which we will eventually, we're just teasing that. We just keep dropping it and teasing it. We will eventually talk about.
And he told me, he goes, if I sign you, you will be on the road. It was like 200 and something days out of the year. And I would recommend not to, I wouldn't want you to be a writer, like a published writer. I would want you to be focusing on the live performance, the show, the marketing, the interviews. And he's like, I know how to sell punk rock bands. This guy, real quick, because I don't want there to be any suspicion, one of the sweetest, kindest people I've ever met. He had no reason. There was nothing in this for him other than any sort of potential he saw down the line to talk to me. There was nothing like that. He was so kind, and we had such a great time talking for those few months that we were talking about all this stuff. And I couldn't do it because where my heart is in storytelling. Music is still, I guess, in a sense, a vehicle for me to tell the stories I want to tell. But my heart is always in storytelling, and I have to tell this story, the story that I'm working on. So, I mean, this was 2019, I think, is when I had this conversation with him. I mean, this was like way later than where we were.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, I've done the tour thing, and not in a glamorous way. Every once in a while, you didn't stay at a nice place, but you know, when someone you know has like a timeshare, and that's when you feel like you've made it. You know, it's like, whoa, dude. You know, but yeah, it's similar for me because we've both been doing this a long time, and I still love it, but I'm getting to a point where I'm like, if I don't start enjoying my life, it's going to pass me by.
Yeah.
And I want to enjoy my life. And yes, working hard is great, and unfortunately I don't have any like major I have passive income on certainly like royalties and things here and there, but not enough to live off of. And I'm like, well, I need to go, I need to do this and do that. But I would love to take 2 months and take my CRV and just drive around the country and just go to different cities.
Yeah.
Maybe do some work if I needed to, but just be able to do it. And I love the idea of touring and going to a bunch of different places. And again, I was obviously never playing arenas, but it was very similar. People were like, oh, how did you like Flagstaff? And I was like, oh, Flagstaff is dope.
Yeah, great airport.
Yeah. I was there for 2 days.
TGI Fridays at the airport, really good.
They're famous Sam's.
Yeah.
Every city to me looks like an Applebee's. Right. It's crazy, man. Like, so I don't know. Music's not over by any means, but the books that I write and all that stuff now.
So what was the transition from like you're 18, you're touring, you're doing these things, and then all of a sudden you switch to, which is your Digital Lizards of Doom, and which is a graphic novel.
Yeah, a graphic novel
that you started writing years ago, because you technically have like 5 what do you call them? 5
There's
books?
8 books total.
8 books total.
They're technically all like written.
Okay.
But we have 6 basically complete.
Right. And give us the elevator pitch. What's the story?
The story is an ancient pineapple demon traps a bunch of characters from another dimension inside a simulated video game universe, and each book is a different level of that video game. And Pineapple Pete has sent the video game to Earth for people to play it, and he's talking to the reader of the book the entire time. And then each level, the characters slowly become more aware that they're actually trapped in a video game because they have no idea. So they're not even trying to escape, really. They don't know what they're doing. They're living out their lives. They're on these quests and these adventures, but they always kind of notice something's not right, and then they slowly become more and more aware, like, oh, something's a little fucked. But it's a kid's book, so there's no fucks.
So then how do you go from music, touring, to I'm writing a graphic novel?
That was a very slow process.
You lost your virginity.
I lost
and
my
music
virginity.
was over.
Yeah.
The day the music died was when.
So
no.
This girl was like, my ex-girlfriend was like, hey, I really like writers. And I'm like, sweet. Let's go. I'm a writer. No,
that's why I have a beard.
That's not what happened.
I had a girlfriend that was like, I really like it when you don't shave, like when you have a beard. And I was like, fucking, I'm never shaving again. And that was 17 years ago.
Epic. No, that's everything I just said is not true. I just lied. I was doing music, and I love music. I don't want people to think I don't love music.
We get it. You love music.
I love music. I listen to music all day, every day. But it was heartbreaking. It was so heartbreaking, and
the business
was heartbreaking, and the time too. There's a lot of time away from loved ones,
right?
And stuff. And so after a while, I'm looking at this, and I'm having my own successes with it, but I'm also seeing other people's successes, not in a jealous way, but I'm seeing what they're doing to get there. And it's not necessarily things I agreed with, not morally or anything like that. It's just like, I don't want that for me.
Yeah.
And I came to a realization that, because I had this silly idea that you didn't have to be a rock star to make it in the genre I was trying to make it in.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, well, Maynard from Tool, he's not a rock star.
He is, but he's not.
He is, but he's not.
Yeah, most people that might even like Tool might not be able to pick him out of a lineup.
Yeah.
Right.
And I realized somebody has to be the face of this brand. Someone has to be the spokesperson. And I don't think the other guys wanted to do it. They loved being on stage rock stars. They loved the music and then hooking up with chicks afterwards, every different city. And I'm the one in the hotel, making sure we have enough money to eat, making sure we have enough money for the hotel tomorrow night, making sure we have enough money for gas. And
were you're the front man too?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wrote all the music.
Sing all the songs?
Sang all the songs. I played the guitar.
Yeah.
In the songs.
And you managed the band.
And I managed the band as well, yeah.
And booked the tour.
And
the hotels and the flights.
And yeah. Everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's fucking a lot of work.
I was exhausted. Just constantly.
You loved it though.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I really did. And I was constantly exhausted. And then I was working on this story in high school, actually. Digital Lizards of Doom goes back. It wasn't called Digital Lizards of Doom at the time. But I had these characters in my head, and I was like, what? Just this interesting idea of, I thought it was interesting, I don't know if other people do, of this entity. He wasn't even a pineapple demon at the time either. He was a teddy bear, actually. It came from like another universe. And he would steal planets. He would like capture them, these planets, and then he would like sell them and like make he'd make a video game out of one of them, and he'd make a clothing brand of another planet. Like, what would an Earth clothing brand look like? And I had this idea, and I kind of had these characters running around in my head for years and years and years. And so somewhere around like 2011, I started writing it down, and I think it was called like the Lizards of Craglodon or something like that at first. And then I had this story and about these ancient monks basically who studied two different types of technology, and I was really frustrated with the world, and I still am actually, and people arguing all the time, and no one can agree, and all this division, and no one's coming together, and all this fighting and senseless arguing. So I was like, these two sects of monks are like, one's a scientific sect, and the other's like a sorcerer, like a philosophy and almost religious sect. And they're arguing about which one is better, and they're arguing about where the power of the universe comes from, and yet they find out they're actually talking about the exact same thing. They just have different words for it, but it's the exact same thing. And so then this evil robot comes in and takes over while they're arguing, and then they basically just like wipes out all these galaxies. And so they're like, man, if we like these two students, if we put our brains together, we might be able to stop this guy. And that's where the idea came from. And then I was like, I really like this teddy bear idea. And then I was like, what if the teddy bear is actually the one causing all this stuff to happen? And I'm like, teddy bear, why is he a teddy bear? That's kind of weird. Like, he's from a different universe. I don't know where the teddy bear is kind of random. Like, oh, what if he was a pineapple demon? That makes sense.
Yeah, clearly. Yeah, I mean, that's where I was going with it. Like, that's my brain went right to pineapple demon.
Somehow pineapple demon makes more sense than
so that kind of tied it all together. But like, what took you from writing music, producing tours, to being like full pen to paper, I'm gonna go?
So I was doing this on tour. Like,
okay, so you were writing and
just writing and writing, and then the more I was writing, the more I realized, the more excited I got about it. And I was writing all the time.
That's how that works.
And it was like a weird trigger because I was going, I really like writing. And I felt so stupid because I've been writing since I was 12. But I went, writing, I'm always happy when I'm writing. I'm not always happy when I'm doing this other stuff. I like it most of the time. But when I'm writing, I'm always happy. This always makes me feel good. Interesting. Noted. My brain just kind of made a little mental note. Still doing music. My relationship at the time, her mom had passed away. And so I kind of took a couple of years off, and I wrote a lot during that time because I was like, well, I need to be here for this. And so I'm not going to go on tour and do all that stuff. So everything's going to be put on pause. And we had just started dating too. So it was like, right now is the time to show up, Right now is the time to be a man, not be a good guy, not be like, oh, peace out, going to go back on tour. Have fun with that. I just felt that'd be such a shitty thing to do. So I took 2 years off, and I got a job as a bus driver. So as I was bus driving.
What kind of bus?
The short bus.
Like for a school? Like for a school district? Or like for some like...
For a transportation company called Home of Guiding Hands. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. It's like taking adults with, I don't know the PC term now, but... Developmentally disabled, I think.
Yeah.
Driving them to different school programs and things like that. And most of them were adults.
Yeah.
So...
Which is a very California thing, because I know here it's like birth to death care.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
because it was from like 5 a.m. It's like I had to be there at 5 to like clean the bus and check the fluids and everything. Get on the bus. You picked up the first person around like 6 or 6:30, and then
take them wherever they're going for the day, and then drop them all.
Yeah.
off.
So and then from like 10 or 10:30 a.m. to about 1, you had a break. So in that break, instead of going home, I just started writing. It's like, oh, I'm getting paid to just chill. I'm going to write.
Right, yeah.
And so I finished the outline for these 8 books. It started with the end, how I wanted the whole thing to end. And I started working my way backwards. And then a couple of years goes by, I start playing music again. The relationship starts... I realized, I don't really want this, but I wanted to, stick around because I'm a completionist. So I was like, no, that's not really for me. But So I started playing shows again, kind of getting back to doing what I was doing before, going on tours, this kind of stuff. And I was doing solo. I wasn't in a band at this time. It was just me. So it was Gabriel Valentin was, what I was going on, because I was like, didn't have a band name. Mm. And so then I was like, man, I was playing acoustic. I was like, I want to kind of play louder venues again. I miss the action and all that stuff. And so I got into electronic music, and I was like, I started fiddling with all of these different sounds, and I think Lady Gaga was getting really popular, bringing her up again. Mm-hmm. She may be an influence. I don't know.
Why wouldn't she be?
She was getting super popular, and that Bad Romance song I just thought was so good. And so I started making a lot of beats that sounded like that. And then I got a computer and started working on all these things. And so I really liked this sound. And I had this book, that the story I was writing, and I wanted to name it something after like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, because I wanted it to be silly and I wanted it to be like a Saturday morning kids show kind of vibe. So I was like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like digital, has lizards in it, so like digital lizards of doom. Yeah, that sounds like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So I was like, okay, that's where I got the name from. And then I said, I was working on this music at the same time, and I'm like, no one, I tried to get the book published, like the story, and I'm, again, it was a very humbling experience, kind of back to when I called my first
you're
venue.
Just cold calling publishers.
And they're like, dude, no, we're not going to, like, you don't even have, is it finished? No, it's not finished, but do you want to like,
it's so good though, man.
It's going to be great. Yeah. They're like, no, we're not interested. So I said, how do I build a fan base? How do I build awareness about this brand I'm trying to make called Digital Lizards of Doom? And I said, I've been making this electronic music. What if I fuse everything that I've ever done into one thing? And so then I started writing every Digital Lizards of Doom song is taken from the story, from the point of view or something, or it's a commentary on something. Mm-hmm. And so I said, I'm going to build this band. I know music. I know how to do that. I can tour that. And then now I have an excuse to play at comic book shops, because I can tell comic book shops, hey, eventually this is going to be a comic book. You'll be able to buy this. Can I come and play at your shop? And I started playing at shops. And then I had Dizzy Doom. I finally gave him a name. His name was Dizzy Doom. He's the main hero. And then Commander Echo, the main villain, was this giant robot. And then Pineapple Pete was the pineapple demon. And so I had these characters, and then I got some, I don't know how I convinced them. I got two of my friends, to Bo and Peter, to be the characters, Commander Echo and Dizzy Doom. And we had our first show at House of Blues for one of those raw artist things. I don't know if you know what those are, but it's like a artist showcase. And we played on House of Blues in San Diego, and they had a whole lightsaber battle. They were full costume. They had a whole lightsaber battle on Nerf gun war, and
while you're playing music,
while I'm playing the songs that go to the book. Yeah. And people are like, oh, this is Digital Lizards of Doom as a band. It's cool. And I thought that was a good thing at the time. And I think it was. I still think I made the right choice. And I was like, I'm going to use the band to eventually pay for the book. So I did the band all the way up into, while I'm finalizing the story, all the way up until about 2018. And in 2018 is when the whole thing came, like, it was solid. Like, now it's not finished, like, artwork wise, but the whole concept is fully realized. And so I was with this agency at the time, who will remain unnamed. Was not the best experience. And they wanted to do this whole rebrand with Digital Lizards of Doom and make it this thing. They wanted to make it like an adult thing, not like porn, but they wanted to make it like a Terminator, like very dark. And I'm like, no, like, I think you're missing the point. Like, it's Pineapple Pete and Dizzy Doom and Fat Cat Rogers. He's a cyborg cat pirate. Like, this isn't.
Yeah, we're not.
I don't think you're getting it. This is like it could. I'm not saying it couldn't have worked, but it's not the vibe, and it wasn't the message that was supposed to be out there. And so I've been playing all this music, and then promoting the name Digital Lizards of Doom. And so then I got 2 artists they basically trusted me to do the first book. They did the first book. I told them I would pay them at the end. I was like
once it's done and we sell it, then I'll pay you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I did. And I dropped them off a check for thousands of dollars, and they were like, wow, we did not think that was going to happen.
But they believed in the project, so they took it on.
Yeah, and I ended up getting picked up by Clover Press, which is founded by Ted Adams and Robbie Robbins. Those are people who started IDW. So they did Ninja Turtles, Transformers, Dungeons and Dragons, G.I. Joe, Star Trek. They had the publishing rights, Samurai Jack, all this stuff to that. And so then we made the first book, and we ended up generating $35,000 in the first month of sales. So we sold like 3,000 books. And it was this small indie hit, basically, at that level.
That's only book 1.
It wasn't an indie hit. It was a small indie hit.
But that's book 1.
That's book 1.
Got it.
And that was a small. Yeah. So that's
a huge feat.
And I was still I was shocked.
There's a lot of people that make comic books and stuff that like nothing. I mean, that goes for all art.
There was someone told me the average lifespan of a self-published comic book is 150 to 200 copies.
And you sold 3,000.
Sold 3,000
book 1
in 1 month. Yeah, and that was
how'd month 2 go?
That is a different
200
story.
copies.
We did. We did actually.
Yeah.
The second month was 200 copies.
All right.
And I can't. There's a reason for that I unfortunately can't say legally on the air, which sucks. I didn't stay on that publishing company. That's all I'm saying. But, then I went to a different publishing company, and that's a different story. But during that time frame, I was still heavily involved with the music. Like I had put my nose to the grindstone, as they say, because I'm like, I'm definitely going to get this book out, then go back to the music, then go back to book 2, then go back to the music, and just kind of flip.
Because you saw them, like you said, the music finances,
And so then that happened, and I was like, oh, okay, I can make this much money in 1 month doing this. I need to pay more attention to the publishing.
Yeah, I got to get the book out. I got to get,
So me being who I am, I love to do way too many things at one time, and it just stresses me out. So I said, I'm on an amazing publishing company. Like these guys are like literal legends in the comic book world. I'm going to put the music, not even on pause really, but it's going to take a backseat, because I've still, even since then, I've produced, I think 2 more albums have come out since book 1 came out.
So that's slowing down.
It's definitely slowing down.
But that's what I mean is for you, 2 more albums was putting it on the back burner.
Yeah.
Okay. Just clarifying.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah. All right.
One of the albums was like a remix album. So I reached out to a bunch of different DJs, and we did, they did remixes of the songs. And then the second album, the most recent album, is a 20-track orchestral album that we recorded in Brazil.
Yeah. So, that makes sense.
And I was like, oh, because it needs a soundtrack, because I'm working on I have an idea for an animated show, so I need a soundtrack. And now, like, it's kind of crazy, all these lessons I learned along the way, like, oh, well, have you thought about music? Have you thought about marketing? How is this marketed? Who's the age range? So now I have answers to all these questions. So if someone says, hey, we need a soundtrack, what do you envision the soundtrack?
You're like, no. Here you go.
So here I am.
Building this whole brand.
building this brand. And
like, I know you said earlier before we started recording that we can't really get into it, but like exciting things are happening.
Yes. I am with a new publishing company who I cannot say the name of. A buddy of mine, actually, we just like redid our Instagram page. We're getting ready to announce everything, and I'm very excited about it.
That's awesome.
It's wild.
Congrats.
It's weird to be in this spot. I can't wait. People are going to freak out when they hear who it is. And a buddy of mine yesterday, he posted it on, because he's known for a while, and he posted it on his page because I cleaned out our Instagram and I posted like one image. So there's like only one image up, and then he shared it and he goes, "Congratulations to Digital Legends of Doom for coming to blank."
Yeah.
With the actual, and then I was like, "Hey man, can you take that down?"
Can you not do that?
And it was up there for a couple seconds and he took it down. But so yeah, we're working on that. We have an RPG book in the work, the tabletop RPG book in the works with don't say it. Just say, you got, there's a bunch of stuff in the works. The game, the books, there's still music. Music is
happening.
Still coming. Yeah.
So tell me, so that's wonderful. So that's all on the, you're on the edge of all of that coming to light. What edge about in all of this, in all of the things that you've done, and this is kind of like this is one of my questions I kind of asked with the die, and we'll do the die in a minute. But what is, like, what's the best advice you've gotten along the way? And that's from music to here. What's a good piece of advice that somebody gave you that really like has stuck with you for somebody in the creative world or just life in general?
I feel like, and I really don't want this to come off sounding like conceited or like arrogant.
I can't wait. Go ahead.
But life advice, so much life advice that I've been given from other people, and I'm very thankful for that. I've had mentors in that area that I'm so incredibly thankful for. Business, art, and industry advice, almost all of it I've had to learn myself.
Well, that was my second question, is like, what's the worst piece of advice you've gotten? So like, what's a good piece of advice that you've gotten? And this is putting you on the spot, and if you're like,
find people who genuinely care about you, genuinely love you, can tell you when you're fucking up and tell you when you're doing a great job, and fucking hold on to those people, because you are going, especially if you're doing entertainment or any sort, actually, any business really, you are going to need them, because this business rips you apart. And you're going to need those people to be like, that was kind of a dick move. I know you're hurting. I know it sucks. I know you got yourself in this position or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But you need to know, that advice can't come from someone you don't trust.
Right.
Then
the
it's
grounding.
an insult. Yeah. Then it's an insult. Then you reject it. And that's the worst, when you are messing up and someone tells you you're messing up, but you don't trust them enough to listen to them. And then you keep going down that path because you rebel against them.
Yeah.
You don't want to go there. You don't want to be there. So having those people that you can trust, that everything they say is coming from a place of love.
And then what's the worst piece of advice you've got?
The worst piece of advice is
excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you.
I guess the worst piece of advice would be, I would have to say it for me is, this is kind of more of a personal thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know if anyone else can relate to this or not, but you aren't the type of person that is going to have a healthy romantic relationship. Someone told me that. And like, you're never going to have that. You're married. Your career will always come first. And
That's a tough, yeah.
And I get what they're saying. This person is also an idiot, by the way. But I get what they're trying to say because
I mean, I felt that way. I've told women that I was dating, like I told one once, literally, like, you need to understand, and this was kind of early in my career, but I was like, I literally looked her in the face, and we were on a date, and my phone rang, and it was a club, and they were like, "Can you be here in an hour?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "I need a +1 though. I'm on a date," and they're like, "We're sold out. Can't do it." I was like, "No problem. See you in an hour." And I hung up the phone and I told her, I was like, if we're going to keep dating, this is like our second date or something. I was like, if we're going to keep dating, you need to understand that my phone's going to ring and ruin everything all the time.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I am married to this because this is my goal. And you're my mistress if this keeps going, which means when I have time, I would love to spend it with you. But comedy will always win. And I think that was I don't think it was fair. But I also wanted her to know, like, this is what you're getting into. Like, this is my world. And if the club calls, I don't say no.
And I actually agree with you because, and I understand what this person was trying to say. And I agree with you in the sense of it, like, it does have to be that way when you're, for a while.
For a while. Yeah.
And I've reached a point, and this is why I'm not I wasn't in a relationship for a long time, and I am in a relationship now. And it's very hard for me right now because
sure as hell doesn't make it easier.
I love this person. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm in love with this person.
That's beautiful. Congrats.
I love it. She's amazing. She's the best thing ever. Absolutely the best thing ever. And
but she's still second fiddle.
No, she's not.
Oh, well, good.
And that's scary.
Yeah.
Because it means something. It means a really good thing, and it also means it could mean a really bad thing. And it's terrifying because, and for me, my goal is, I say this all the time, not even just with relationships, with a bunch of different things. I am trying to buy my freedom and all of this. That's what I want. I want to be able to, because I had the same conversation with my ex about we'd be on the couch watching a movie, having a great night. Can you be here in an hour to do this thing? It would just ruin the night. And you have to go because I don't know when the next paycheck's coming. I have to.
And also, you say no to them, they don't call you next time.
They don't call you again. Yeah. And I want to be in a place where I can say no.
No is powerful. Yeah.
That's and I call that buying my freedom. Like, that's where I want to be. So I'm in a spot right now where I don't want to lose this person. I'm in love with this person. And I want to be the best version of myself I can possibly be. I want to tie in every life lesson, skill I've acquired in my life thus far into this relationship because she's worth it and she's amazing. And give someone the best life ever, and then I want to get the best life ever too, and we've talked about this kind of stuff.
I don't have that romantically, but I do know that, like, when I have a 5-year-old daughter, and that changed everything, because that was also like, I knew, especially like, I knew that I now have 26 weekends, like my whole life is cut in half because I'm not giving up. My daughter will not pay for me to do this. Like, I only have half the time. Therefore, I will spend that time with her.
Yeah.
And so, like, I'm not saying it's never going to happen. And even now, like, I'll get a babysitter and do local shows when I have my daughter, but it's few and far between. Yeah. And part of me, I think, needs to come to terms with that, and I need to be more comfortable with that. But it's like, she's 5. Like,
but you trust yourself. You trust yourself to make you. Because you're also saying no to those things.
Yeah.
So you're like,
because she's more important than any of this, while at the same time, I want to give her a life and give her all the experiences and give her the security of a life. And to do that, I have to say yes to a lot of things. But it was definitely this line of, like, building my future comedy and stuff. Like, I'm not going to be away when I have her.
Yeah.
So now, in your average comedian, I remember when I started, you talk to guys that were on the road, and they're just like club comics on the road. They're not touring. They're not really selling a bunch of tickets. They're like grinding and building their brand, building their following. But like the average guy, like your goal was to be on the road in some shithole. And I said, I don't know why I say some shithole, but like you hear the stories, like when you're road dogging it in B clubs, building the whole thing up and building your time and your skill set, you're staying in crap hole hotels or a shithole comedy condo, and you're doing these clubs that, whatever. And your goal is to be on the road 45 weeks a year.
Yeah.
Barely making a living, by the way.
Yeah.
Barely making a living. Like you are flying Spirit Airlines everywhere, and you're catching the train and the bus to the next city, because if you do that, then that weekend was actually profitable.
Yeah.
But that's the goal. And before the kid, sign me the fuck up. Now with the kid, the terms are different. You need to figure out how to do this without the kid, like paying for it, without missing the time with the kid. And I'm the luckiest guy in the world because I have somehow found a way to do that. Like when I have her, I'm a dad, and like I had to schedule a meeting. I have a phone call with a brand on Tuesday that we want to talk about some possible work, and I had to make it on Tuesday because that's when they could do it. And I have my kid on Tuesdays, and I feel guilty because I'm going to have to steal an hour of my time with her. But that hour of time could literally pay, if the right thing came of it, for us to go on a vacation with grandma for a couple of weeks. Yeah. If it was the right kind, if it's the right phone call, that's the other crazy thing about this industry, about entertainment and commercials and all this stuff, is like a phone call could literally put her through college.
Yeah.
And that's something I try to instill into her, is that like she gets frustrated because I have been very good at separating my time, where like she knows every now and then I have to take an email, or I have to like send or take a phone call or send an email or something. Because when I'm not with her, like today, like this week, Wednesday through Sunday, dude, I've been nonstop. I was here Wednesday night till 9:30 at night, Thursday night till I had a show. Or actually, no, my show got canceled. I was here till 9:30 at night. Friday, I was here from 9 a.m. till 3:30 in the afternoon because I had a thing that night. Yesterday, technically, I hung out, but I was like writing and doing stuff. Like it was like a little bit of a chill day. And then today's Sunday. I was here at 9. After this, we're doing this. After this, I've got to literally go write a bunch of stuff and get ready for a meeting and a phone call, and then I'm going to shoot a sketch. Like I'm busting my ass hard.
Yeah.
When I don't have her. And it frustrates me because she's like, why do you have to take a phone? Like she sees me and she's like, why are you're always on your phone? And I'm like, honey, this pays for everything we got.
Yeah.
I have to send this email. And it's not always. It's literally like a couple of times. And it breaks my heart because she's like, when will you play with me? And I'm like, this email could literally change our lives.
Yeah.
But how do you explain that to a 5-year-old?
Yeah.
But she also doesn't see, and I've tried to tell her, I'm like, listen, like you're the luckiest kid in the world too, because I'm the luckiest guy in the world, that like when I have you, like when I pick her up tomorrow morning, I literally pick her up at 9. We're going to go to a playground. We're going to ride bikes. Then we're going to get lunch. Then we're going to plan our week of groceries.
That's something most dads can't do.
Nobody. I'm the luckiest. Like I get to do dadding.
Yeah.
And it's the fucking best.
Did you ever hear
love it.
Did you ever hear Jack White's interview with Mark Maron?
I don't know.
Because I'm not saying I agree with him on this, because like it was kind of like a controversial thing, like a bunch of people talking about it. But Mark Maron was like, you have a bunch of kids, and is that hard being on tour and like being away from them? And Jack White's response was kind of badass. He was like, I tour a lot, but when I'm home, I'm home. I'm home, and I'm a dad. Yeah. And he goes, I would argue, if you look at, and he had all the math in his head. He's like, if you look at the time that a guy goes to work from
9 to 5 in it,
9 to 5, I probably spend more time with my kids,
right,
than they do.
Yeah.
in the grand scheme of things, and quality time.
And that's the thing, quality time.
Because
there's a lot of guys, they get home at 5 and they're exhausted.
Yeah.
And the kid, and they need time to unwind and literally decompress from the day, and then the kid's bedtime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
and that's how I feel too.
It's pretty interesting.
I had a cool moment with Ron Howard, to name drop.
Oh, no way.
I got to interview Ron Howard for a thing. I don't know if I've said this. I don't know when I've said things on these on the podcast or not, but I had a moment to ask him because I was working with my friend Stephen Shea, who I talked to you about. We were there in his office at Imagine Entertainment, set up to do this interview with him, and we had an hour with him. And at the very end, Steven and I, we got there early. We'd set up, and we were just kind of talking like, he's a dad. He's trying to make it in the film industry. He's trying to do stuff, and he's hustling his ass off, and he feels guilty about how much time.
I'm a huge Bryce fan.
She's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love and Ron's all right. But he and I were talking while we were waiting for our time slot with him that day about just like, we both feel guilty all the time that we're not good fathers and we're not doing enough for our art either. We both just like, it feels like I'm never doing enough for the business, for the career, for the thing. And also I'm not a good dad because my mind is on the stuff. And I'd catch that when I'm with my kid, that we're sitting there at the playground and I'm kind of watching her play and doing stuff. And my head is like, thinking of like, I got to call that person. I'm writing myself notes and doing stuff and whatever. But then we like hop on our bikes and go for a 3-mile bike ride and then go to lunch and then plan our meals for the week. And like, it's tons of quality time while also my brain is distracted because I know there's this whole other world of shit I got to take care of and grow and build and do. And so I asked Ron that and I said, hey, like both of us have families. Both of us are raising kids. We feel like we're not giving them that, but also we never feel like we're doing enough for our career. You've got kids, you grew this whole, you've done everything you've done while having a family and children and da-da-da-da. Does that ever go away? And his response was no.
Wow.
He's like, but what I did learn was that you need to schedule your time wisely. He's like, and when it comes to your kids, you need to give your kids as much time as you are also giving to your most important project.
That's cool.
So whatever that is, if you're equally giving your family and children the amount of time you put into this, to your career, to the project, that's the most important one at the time. That's the balance. And that made both of us feel better while also knowing that the feeling never goes away. Because he didn't say when you do that, the feeling goes away.
Yeah.
He just said how I can come to terms with it is by knowing that like they are equal to my most important project because they are my most important project.
Wow.
But of course, you're going to feel like for the rest of your life, like you didn't spend enough time with your kids as well as you didn't work as hard as you could have.
That's heavy, dude.
And if fucking that's Ron Howard's world...
That's heavy.
That's heavy, but it was good shit. He was a nice guy. He was exactly what you thought he would be. He was just awesome. Kind and sweet and so good in interview. He had we sent the questions over and he'd answer and then he'd be like, I'm going to take that again. And all of a sudden he'd give you a fucking better answer that was even tighter and so good. He was really nice. He was really nice.
That's cool.
All right, let's hop to the fire round here. Go ahead and roll that die. We'll see what happens. We just asked a couple questions at the end that are totally by chance.
Good.
You can roll on your table. You can roll it on your book.
Oh, yeah. Roll on the book.
Wherever you want, yeah.
One.
Number one.
Number one.
First job.
Ooh.
First job.
1090 job or first job?
Job, like a real job.
Okay. That would be Vans. Working at the Vans shoe store.
How old are you?
16.
And how many pairs of shoes did you steal?
None.
All right.
I never stole a pair of shoes. I did steal 2 pairs of socks though.
Well, sometimes you need socks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. Did you like that job? Was that a good experience into the working world? Because it seems like a pretty chill place to work. It's the van store. I'm guessing there are other skater-ish young people.
Yeah, like I liked it because of the girls.
Yeah.
There's a lot
I
of
could see
girls you could talk to, and that was
a lot of girls coming and going.
That was the best part. I mean,
but you're 16. That's what it should be.
I hated the job, though.
Yeah, well, working sucks.
Hated it.
Retail sucks.
Retail. But, you get all the skater girls in there, and that's always been my
except they don't have any money.
No, that's not.
But they're hanging. Not totally true. Yeah, they're hanging out. That's what it's about.
Yeah, they're hanging out. So.
Cool. All right, roll it one more time. Let's see.
3.
First time.
First time.
Yeah, which we kind of got into a little bit.
Oh, like first
time.
First time. Yeah, got it. Make sure I got that.
But I think you mentioned already. You kind of said it was nice. You were with this person.
No, I don't remember it.
Oh, that's right. No, you know what's funny? I wasn't counting that one either. Yeah, because you didn't. But the next, I count. The first time that
I have no recollection
that mattered. Yeah, the first time that you were conscious for.
Yeah, it's not even on my list of people. So it's like I like, to be honest with you, I'm not even sure if it happened. Like that's how much I don't know. Because there's like a tiny part of me. It's like
maybe
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know.
All right. Well, how about the first time with that you remember and you definitely know happened? Like, was it beautiful? Was it nice? Was it?
Yeah. It was nice.
Like you cared about this person. They cared about you. It was
Yeah. And it's funny because we got him the safe thing, and I was very wait, real quick, because first time for me is kind of confusing because like I had a lot of experience before the first time with
other stuff,
with like
everything I'm else. Talking
P in the V.
P in the V.
It was nice. It was cool.
Eye contact, emotion. Yeah. Care, caress.
Wait, you're supposed to make eye contact? Oh.
Not too much, just enough. It's weird if you hold it the whole time. But an overall good experience.
Thanks for letting me flop on top of you.
These were the best 3 seconds of my life.
Best 3 seconds of my life. It was cool. And it was with someone I was dating too, which
she cared, and it was nice.
I cared, yeah.
Beautiful.
It was nice. And it was, it's, I don't know. It's not something I want to ever share with now that I'm older. That's not something I ever want to share with somebody who I don't have a strong emotional connection with.
P and V's.
Yeah. Well, kind of all of it.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I get it. Actually, I get it.
I don't know if it's like a growing up thing. I don't know. It's like I get it. I would have given a completely different answer many years ago, and it was whatever, just to get the rocks off. Man, like, right? Have some fun. You're at a party, having a good time.
I don't know if it's because of the energy. I don't know if it's because I feel like I have so much going on. But there's part of me that's like same boat where it's like, I gotta really like you to set aside the amount of time that I think it deserves to get to the point.
Yeah, and there's like, it's a performance. It's a performance. I'm a performer. You're a performer.
Which does not make it easier. Because it's fun, and I feel like I've always had that performance anxiety. And I take that from the same point of like, the amount of times the performance anxiety has ruined that moment is a number of times, and and then I think of like, I have friends, and it was like in high school, like I have buddies that didn't give a shit, and they were just there to fuck, and I was like, no, there's a whole. Who's doing your lighting? How many candles did you light? They're like, candles? What are you talking about? We were literally like,
in the back of my truck.
Yeah. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, how? Because literally, I was producing in my head how it was all supposed to go, which was probably why I was such a late bloomer. Because in my mind, like, no, like the light shines and then the doves, right?
Dude,
and then the candles flicker because the energy felt between our connection. Lined everything up, and that was how it's supposed to go, right? Yeah. So that's why it never happened, because the doves never fucking flew by.
Yeah.
Where my other buddies are just like, I was in high school and I fucking fucked 10 girls, and every time I just nutted in 12 seconds, and who gives a shit? And I'm like, That sounds horrible, dude. That sounds like a nightmare.
Don't you kind of give a shit? You know, it's like you don't.
They didn't.
Yeah, my buddy would always brag about that. He'd be like, I think one day he hooked up with 3 cheerleaders in the same day, 3 different ones, and he was dating another girl. And he hooked up with 3 different
Piece of
cheerleaders.
shit.
And he was bragging about it. And then I'm like, bro, you don't care at all. Like, and he's not thinking about the future.
Oh no, he's thinking about the nut.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like,
it.
you don't think like in 5 years you're gonna look back and be like, oh, that's kind of fucked up. He's like, 5 years? What? It's like, it was almost like, am I even gonna be here in 5 years? Like,
Yeah.
5 years is an eternity away.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow. And that was, and part of my, it's actually an issue with me is I feel like I've always thought about the future too much because I'm a planner. So I'm like, all right, we can't go here till we go here, and we got to get this before we get this. So then you add the whole performance thing in, and it's like, all right, like if we're gonna make love, you know,
Because that's in my mind, that's how it is. It's not fucking.
Yeah.
If we're gonna make love,
Do we have music? Is there, do we?
I don't see a candle anywhere. Like,
Are we gonna watch a movie afterwards, or do we take a shower beforehand or after?
Yes,
like
before.
Well, it depends. You could have
Sometimes
just showered.
that's true. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you better take a shower at least once.
Wash your shit.
Yeah.
Wash your shit. But yeah, it's and what always blew my mind is that like I knew guys that would literally like in high school and even in college that would like that guy. They'd like you'd find out like, wait, she just fucked you? She just fucked you.
Yeah.
And then in your mind you hear the story and you're like, well, I bet she regrets that. And then you hear like a couple months later, like, she fucked you again? After what you told me? It was after the football game, behind the fucking bleachers, in the dark by a corner by a light pole.
Yeah.
And she fucked you again?
My buddy,
like, what the fuck? Part of me's like, what the fuck am I doing wrong? While also, that sounds horrible.
My buddy would take girls on. He was like this nerdy guy, like not nerdy in the way like comic book nerdy, like smart nerdy guy. And he was all into wilderness and like survival stuff, right?
Yeah.
And he would take girls on camping trips. He'd be like, "Oh, I go camping.
Camping's erotic and
do you
sexy.
Want to go?"
Yeah.
And every
nature, dude.
single time.
That makes sense. But that, I
lying,
respect that. Because he's setting, it's like taking drugs. Set and setting.
Yeah.
I bet there's a fire. So we got the candlelight covered.
Well, I asked
the stars are out. That's fucking romantic as shit. I'd fuck him on that. That sounds great.
I remember, I think we were hanging out around a campfire and at a friend's house, like a bonfire. I got a friend's house. And then someone, I wish it's so long ago. Someone said something about how do you bang these chicks when like, what if your mom comes home? And then he like kind of stopped for a second. He goes, now that I think about it, I've only ever had sex at a camping ground. And that was his thing.
Not a bad thing. It's a beautiful. I've done that a few times, and it's a wonderful thing.
Yeah. So
it's a wonderful thing. Roll the die. Let's do one more. This is fun.
16.
16. Last time you were really uncomfortable.
Right now, about 5 minutes ago. No, I'm just kidding. Last time I was really uncomfortable. Like, uncomfortable in what way?
It's fucking uncomfortable, dude.
I'm gonna have to. The story I want to tell, I'm not gonna tell.
Don't tell me what you're not gonna tell me. Tell me. Yeah.
The time before that would be. Oh man, I'm trying to think.
And you don't have to give like specific details. You can just like general, because it sounds like whatever that is pretty good.
Yeah. Actually, fuck it. I'll just say it. My girlfriend had a birthday, and actually, no, we're gonna edit that out.
Okay. Yeah. That's what I was saying. No. Don't do the specifics. Just be like, I was at a thing.
We're gonna edit that.
Somebody said this.
Yeah.
I da 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 da. Yeah.
I
You don't have to say it, dude. Never mind.
no, I'm trying to
Okay.
trying to think of like
Come on,
actual-
storyteller.
a
Let's
good-
go.
a good
Fictionalize
time.
it.
No, I can't do that. I don't do that anymore. It's kind of like a rule. I don't want to lie anymore. Like it's unless I'm right.
But this is
That's
not,
different, yeah.
here's what I'm looking for with this. Discomfort is something that I didn't realize. How do I say this? I'm getting comfortable with discomfort in my life. And I think it's something that I didn't realize how much anxiety. I didn't realize I suffered from anxiety until like a few years ago
Okay.
at 30 something years old. And what I realized my whole childhood and all this stuff was like, oh, you're the funny kid? Yeah, because you were uncomfortable and you were in scenarios that you had to save the moment or yourself or be funny or self-deprecating to get out of it because you were so uncomfortable that you had to like somehow fix it. Like your anxiety was there and that was your only way out was to be the funny kid or do something. And so I'm looking for like that kind of like I was put in a position and I caught myself, or it's just, you know, that like it's more the the human side of like the discomfort and what happened and whatever put you there and how you kind of came out.
It's eerily similar to how I grew up. Like some of the stuff you say, I'm like, dude, this is spooky. Like, bro, I have an answer now because you put some perspiration. You put some perspective.
Okay.
Some perspective there.
Yeah.
I recently had one of the craziest meetings of my entire life. Like probably the biggest meeting of my adult writing career with brands that were put on the table in front of me that are some of the biggest brands in the world that I could possibly be writing books for. And there was
big shit.
And Digital Lizards of Doom was a part of this.
Okay.
And it is like in that moment, the joy, the elevation of just the feelings are flying, man. It's just wow. Like, I mean, it's that it's like when the beast turns back into a human, you know, and he's like raising off the ground and the end of Beauty and the Beast, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
Like that is going on in my brain. I'm freaking out in the best way possible.
All the emotions.
Just
an emotional cacophony
just
going on.
Unlike anything I have ever experienced thus far. I leave the meeting. This meeting was in person. I leave the meeting. I get back to my car. I turn my car on. I remember I'm on empty. And I don't have any money in my bank account right now because I have 3 checks that haven't come because they're out there somewhere. I'm just waiting for them. And invoices that have not been processed yet.
Yeah.
And I have the oil lights on and, you know, I have a low tire because it's punctured and I still just keep getting the hole replaced. And then I have a notification on my cell. This really happened.
Yeah.
Like I get in the car and I'm like looking at my emails, looking at my car. Like, oh, notification, you know, your website, you got to update your website. It's past due. And hey,
It's
we're
$20
still waiting
and you're
on
like,
this bill.
I don't have it.
And it's like, how am I here? And by the way, this meeting that I'm in, it's not like they're looking over they're offering me things.
Right.
And I'm like, they're offering me things because they think I'm the shit. At least they're treating me that way.
Yeah.
And then I get back and I feel like the shit in that moment. Then I get back in my car and I don't feel like the shit anymore at all. That all goes away. And it was this feeling of like, how am I experiencing this? And then less than 5 minutes later, I'm experiencing this, just this low
yin and yang.
And that would probably be, and that was recent. That was within the last month. So Yeah.
See, days like that where that was like, yeah, where it's just the full fucking spectrum.
Yeah.
It's all of human. It's the whole human experience in fucking 30 minutes.
Oh, and then on top of that, the people you told about the meeting are hitting you up and texting you. And so you've already had the joy.
Right.
Now you have the sinking feeling because like,
literally
hopefully I can get home.
The world is the most amazing place possible ever.
Gotta get back.
And now the entire world is burning to the ground.
And I got to get back to San Diego.
Yeah.
And then on the way back home, people are calling you. You know, it's a long drive.
Yeah.
And from LA to San Diego. And people are calling you and they're like, hey, you know, how did the meeting go? And then the meeting went well. So you're in a dark place in your mind because you're stressed out about getting home.
Yeah.
But the meeting went well. So then you're telling them how the meeting went well.
And you're a performer.
And you're a performer.
So you're putting it on.
And you're like, oh, I'm so stoked. Yeah, this is going to change my life. And it's like icky because you're like, you liar.
The fucking gaslights
You're
just
like,
looking at you.
Yeah. You're and like, oh, you slimy bitch. Like, you know, it's this icky feeling. And then, oh, I'm so proud of you. You made it, man. You're doing it. You're living your dream. And it's like
low tire indicator comes on.
That's an uncomfortable feeling.
It's a beautiful story.
Yeah.
And what's great about that is that someday you'll look back, and even maybe now you can, and just appreciate the fucking day. And that's something where, like, I remember, like, the day the Super Bowl ad came out, I was sitting on my porch. I was supposed to have, like, some friends over on the porch. I moved my TV out to the porch and, like, set it up so we could all watch the Super Bowl and watch the ad. And I had my kiddo, and I had friends that have a kiddo. They were going to come over. We were going to make burgers. And this is, like, the height of COVID. And we're going to be outside, but I was going to make burgers on the grill and da-da-da-da. And that morning, I get a phone call that the weekend before, 3 days earlier, or the week before, I was on set and somebody tested positive for COVID. So I technically had a COVID exposure. So I call my friends and I'm like, hey, I had a COVID exposure. We probably shouldn't have you guys over. Da-da-da-da. Never got it. The guy, but he and I did, like, we filmed the thing where, and even during the thing, he was wearing a mask and we were 6 feet apart in the ad. But you're standing.
In the ad?
In the ad. In the ad.
Super Bowl ad?
No. In the thing I had shot the weekend before.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So the day of the Super Bowl, it's like I'm sitting there, my kid's on my lap, we're watching. The ad comes on. Holy fuck. I'm on the Super Bowl. I'm on the fucking set. Like, this is crazy.
That's insane.
And immediately, and my kid looks at it and she's like, yeah, whatever. Like, yeah, why are we watching this, Dad?
Didn't
like,
you know this was going to happen?
Well, she just like, it doesn't mean anything to a 3-year-old. She's like, commercial? Yeah, you do commercials, whatever. Like, it's why your commercials are on phones. Like, nobody cares. and also, I'm in the back of my mind being like, did I get COVID? Am I about to give COVID to my kid? Did I already give my kid COVID? Are we going to fucking die? Super Bowl, you're going to fucking die and you might have killed your kid because maybe you have COVID. You need to go schedule a test for first thing tomorrow morning at the drive-thru COVID thing. And also, what do you do next? You're at the peak of fucking Super Bowl ad. And it was a weird, like, that whole afternoon and evening was just like, is this it? Is it over? Did I just peak?
Yeah.
Did I just peak?
Dude,
is this over?
That's the craziest thought, too.
Because there's this kid and she needs to eat. Did I just peak?
Yeah. Fuck, man.
It was crazy.
Feeling.
Dude, Gabe, it was so great for you to come do this. I'm so glad we got to hang out and catch up and do all this. I'm proud of you. This is so fucking dope. Digital Lizards of Doom. They can go get it, but maybe hold off for a bit because the big shit's about to launch that we can't really talk about.
So you can't really get it anymore. It's
because cool shit's happening.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the first book, it's getting re-released with this new publisher.
Yeah.
And I think if it's probably still on some shelves in bookstores, like every comic book shop.
Don't even worry about that. Yeah. Just go Google Digital Lizards of Doom. Is there like what's the Instagram handle? What's stuff if people want to find out more about
Digital Lizards of Doom, all one word. Digital Lizards of Doom. DLOT World on Twitter. And then at DLoud World on TikTok too.
Awesome.
Well,
Dude, thanks for doing this.
Dude, thanks for having me.
So
Man.
fun.
Yeah. Love you, buddy.
You too.